Cash, are you in this room? Where are you, Cash?
Cash.
Are you over here?
Cash.
The following
Anybody
content
seen
contains
Cash?
adult language and humor that is not suitable for
Cash,
viewers
where are
under
you?
the age of 18.
Cash.
Viewer discretion is strongly
Cash,
advised.
where are you?
Cash?
The views
Are you
and
over here?
opinions expressed during the following video
Cash.
content are those
oh,
of the
wait a minute.
individual
Cash
and
is
may not
driving
reflect
Miss
those of
Daisy.
others. Thank you.
Oh. Normally he's driving us crazy.
Yeah, well, now he's driving someone else crazy.
You're fired.
He wasn't fired. He was never hired.
Oh.
How can I fire him?
He's kind of like...
He was never hired.
Oh, that's why he's got the swing line.
Exactly.
He's not here. He's fired. No cash money. No cash money for you.
He was never hired, so how can I fire somebody who was never hired?
I fired him. After what he did in Fulton, California last night? Oh, the other night? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Wearing the red trunks and his cape.
Yeah.
Screaming, I am the Tin Man.
His +2 9-iron of smiting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk on this Sunday, coming to you live on both YouTube and Rumble, along with Baron Orman Tagge. I am your host, Mike, and your eyes do not deceive you. Cash is not here with us, but our special guest is. Everybody, please welcome in our special guest from 540 Studio, Jacen Fawkes.
Yay!
Shalom. Oh, right. I'm Norwegian. Hello, everybody.
And he's the one that actually fired Cash, I heard.
Yeah, of course.
I've heard Cash has been hired and fired from 540 Studios.
Yeah, it's rumors, just all allegations, rumors. We just have one person in the chat there who claims a lot of stuff. It's all allegations. It's not true. We're going through a process right now, but I can't talk more about that.
Yeah, because you never know what Phil McCracken might say about it. He's always saying something about it.
Yep,
Admit it.
Exactly.
Cash is your diversity hire.
He's my shin hire.
You got to meet that chin quota, and Cash meets it.
Yes. We have LGBTQ representation now. We have a black guy, and then of course we have the diversity of a big shin. So it's getting there. We only need a woman right now, So then we will have a full good diversity. It's getting there.
Very cool, very cool. And speaking of getting there, we have our latest episode of Beverly Hills 414 from writer T-Gap Steve, or as I like to call him, Big Daddy T-Gap, who says, previously on Beverly Hills 414, and I hear that there's about to be a fight going down at Barron's place. Let's get it on!
Get it on!
Mike had been trying to call Baron for the better part of a half hour with no response other than voicemail. There could be little doubt the man was in dire peril. If the Uber driver went any slower, they ain't Uber drivers. Well, if he went any slower, he'd be driving backwards. But that was to be expected. Despite the clever disguise, Mike knew the driver was Crypto's arch nemesis, the one and only Mr. M.
Mr. M?
Yes, Mr. M. It was clear that Mr. M wanted Mike to lead him to wherever Crypto had hidden himself, but he hadn't seen Crypto since the man cut out on paying for his half of lunch the day before, not even the tip. Oh, what a cheapo.
That is cheapo, man.
Crypto had just finished rigging a box in the back of the grocery store to serve as his daring escape vehicle. The fact that it was for a shipment of Fruit Loops was funny, but at the same time, not.
Kind of sounds like cannibalism.
Yeah. He started to crawl only to bump into the wall, the support post. Then the support post. Sorry. Then knocking over a display for Christmas fudge from 4 years ago. Well, considering it's Christmas fudge, it probably will last that long, if not longer. I wouldn't be surprised if 1,000 years from now, archaeologists discover Christmas fudge buried
Yeah,
deep within the earth.
I think you're confusing that with fruitcake.
Oh, aren't they almost the same?
I don't know because I can tell you what, Christmas fudge doesn't last long around me.
Uh-huh.
More
This
we
had
know.
seemed much easier in the video game. Well, he's not Snake. Snake? Snake? Snake! All of a sudden, the box was lifted up off him, and as he blinked in the bright light, he saw Jace standing there giving him a strange look. What are you doing here? Crypto blurted out.
Okay.
This is a rescue, so get up off your knees and follow me. Okay, there's just one thing. I think you're missing a few four-letter words. Get up off your
Yeah.
knees and follow me, fucker.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of how
Exactly.
he's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless dusting the floor with your pants is some kind of fetish. Behind him, Crypto saw the door that had been locked was open. Well, of course, Jace was able to get in because he's Jace.
Mhm.
I'm a Norwegian. We find our ways.
That door was locked, Crypto said as he stood up and dusted himself off. Yeah, from the outside, fucker.
Exactly. From the outside. You have to remember that I say fuck in basically 90% of my dialogue when I talk.
As they stepped out, Crypto saw a couple of Girl Scout cookie ninjas upside down, tied up.
Oh my.
Well, that explained why all the doors had been locked and he couldn't escape, but it didn't explain the ravaged cereal boxes. How he got there and where the sombrero had come from. Well, obviously Jace used it to take down a few Girl Scout cookie ninjas.
Of course.
Baron had managed his daring escape. There was only one technique that could distract a trained cookie ninja, and not for long. Oh, Kitty, he cried while the Baroness was driving. Oh, what? Does he release El Diablo Gato?
Release the cat.
In the split second, the girl squeed and looked for the kitty. Baron had leapt out of the Corvette and landed with a thump in some bushes on the side of the road. Ow, 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 he grunted. Okay, there was another ow, sorry.
Ow.
The only thing that mitigated the pain was he had allowed his eyes to wander to the Baroness' chest as he was falling. The view of those firm airbags tended to mitigate the pain a bit. Well, of course.
Yeah.
He had no time to savor the thought. He pulled some brambles out of his beard and started running. The Baroness and the Girl Scouts teaming up. This could only lead to bad things. Well, just focus on the airbags, Baron. Everything will be fine.
I always do.
He saw a security shack up ahead and ran towards it, not realizing that with bits of bush in his beard and hair and torn outfit, he looked like a crazed hippie trying to rush to the clubhouse.
I was gonna say with bush in my beard, that getting into a weird area. Phrasing.
Yeah.
Buddy?
Will Mike outwit Mr. M and track down Baron? Or will he have to team up with the arch nemesis of Crypto to face the Baroness? Well, if it's the Baroness from Cobra, I can sway her to go and join my side. Trust me.
Uh-huh.
Why did Jace rescue Crypto from the grocery store trap? The man had last been seen in Madagascar and always had an ulterior motive, even if it was for his own amusement.
Hmm? Yeah.
Will Barron manage to explain the situation to the security guard in the shack, or will he be tased for the crime of looking poor at an exclusive club? Wow, Steve.
Aye, aye, aye.
I do that. That happens to me no matter what.
All this and more on today's episode of Beverly Hills 414 after these messages.
How fun would it be to like animate all this and actually make it into a goddamn show? Well, how
Yeah.
fun would that have been?
Hey, Crit, are you out there?
Crit, you listening? You listening? We've got something to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to say good morning to Pop Culture Mechanic. Good to see you, Pop.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Well, what are you just adding that A because he's Canadian? You know,
Yeah,
I love Canadians. I love Canadians. I do.
No.
I
Well,
am
I'm just
proud.
trying to make
I
us
am
feel at
proud
home.
to welcome every Canadian to the show.
Ek ben Canadian. There you go.
So, Jace, today
Yeah.
the show is all about you.
It's about me, unfortunately.
Viewership just dropped. Viewership just dropped, folks. Oh my! Please come back.
Today's show, we will discuss how you began your YouTube journey and where you see it going 6 years, not 6 years, 6 months to a year from now. You think I'd have this down by now, Baron?
No, I know better.
Aye. But yeah.
And
if you
what this journey has been like, and of course, we will be showing off Mr. Fox's 540 studio. Let me go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So people know exactly what they're supposed to be looking for. Wow.
Yes.
Look
It
at the
made
design.
it. It did it. Oh my god. He actually knows how to do stuff.
Look at the design.
Of course I do. Oh, you hear that? You hear that, folks? You hear that? Not only am I usually mocked by my usual cohorts, like called co-hosts for some reason, but now the guest is mocking me.
Mm-hmm.
I am Norwegian. This is what I do. I mock people. I'm an asshole.
Listen to that. Listen to that excuse. Listen to that excuse, folks.
But if I mock the people I'm around, that I care about, that just means I love you. That means I care about you. That means you're my friend.
Uh-huh.
He's an ally.
Exactly.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So tell us how the idea of 540 Studio began.
Well, the 540 ID actually goes way back when I was a child, when I was a really young child, because I always wanted to create comics. I always want to create something, that's my own. And for some reason, the 540 always for some reason that was always a name that was really stuck in my head. So even when I was like 12 and 11-year-old, 540 was like a name that I wrote down in my books and everything when I created stories. And that's the origin of the name. It was originally comic world. I want to call my comics, the 540 comics, but later on when I started my company, I was just like, I need a name for it, and I was just like, well, I do have the old name 540. Why don't I just use the 540 name to my company instead? And that's what I did. So that's the origin of the name, at least, of 540.
Very nice. Of course, you have not a podcast, but a podcast, and also a series called Beyond. Let people know what sort of topics you talk about on your channel.
Yeah, well, I can say that not the podcast, but the podcast is no longer. I actually did rename it to Fivecast instead, another show that we had. So not the podcast, but the podcast is now Fivecast instead. But no, on Fivecast and the beyond, on Fivecast, we'd still talk about a lot of the same stuff that we do, and we go through a lot about pop culture, what's going on in the world of pop culture, the woke drama, to some politics here and there, and sometimes we go through a lot of different stuff with the topics, but it's mostly related to pop culture, because that is what we do. We want to talk about pop culture, what's happening in pop culture, and talk about what's important in pop culture, and what we have to fight against, because we do have way too much, this woke politics and other stuff like that, and how they attack us, and how they claim that we are this and that, phobes. And I've always, since I was pretty young, I've always been, sick and tired of this. And for me, it's really important to fight back, because I grew up as a punker, I grew up as an anarchist, and I will always fight for what I believe in. So we talk a lot about stuff like that on the channel, of
Yeah.
course.
And we do have a clip of one of your programs right here. So this is an example of what you get over at 542.
You might think everything is okay, but Disney is gonna get you. Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get you. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.
Well, I said those things long before South Park ever came with that episode. I've always said they're gonna get you. But no,
That
they
just
will.
shows that Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they're listening. They are
listening. They are listening.
Mhm.
And I'm really happy that we do have more, film and series creators and comic creators out there who's actually listening to the fans, who are actually listening to what we have to say, because we are getting mocked. We are getting, pissed on by these big corporations and the big pharmas and all that kind of stuff. And it is good that some of them are still listening and actually understand our side, because we are geeks, we are nerds. We have grown up with this pop culture world, and with the Star Wars IP, Marvel, DC, and other IPs that we grew up with. And we don't shit on it because we hate it. We shit on a lot of this stuff and criticize it because we care about the IPs and we love these worlds, and they have a big meaning to us and many other people out there. And we want to we want to say what they're doing wrong, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You have to actually listen more to the fans and not cater to the other woke people who's like, oh, I want to self-insert, I want this, I want that. No, you just listen to us. We want an escapism story. We want something that we can enjoy, a villain of the week, all the kind of good stuff that we grew up with.
Yeah. And as far as talking about everything that's going on in Hollywood, whether it's woke or not, whether you like it or not, what are some of your favorite discussions that you like to have while you're on 540 Studio?
Most of my favorite discussions. That is hard, man, because I like so many topics that we do. But of course, there's a lot of Star Wars. There's a lot of Star Wars because that is the main thing. So I can go back more to the origin if you want to know more about the origin of 540.
Yeah,
And
please do.
yeah, because that also relates to why I talk so much about Star Wars is before I started YouTube, I started out as an editor for smaller YouTubers and small film production stuff and stuff like that. That's how I started out, and I had another name that was a cringy fucking name, but I replaced that name, later on with the 540 name. And then I started out alone, and then later on I found some people who was interested to make content and stuff like that. So we all started on Twitch. We started just gaming. It was not the plan to do any gaming, but it just became part of the company. We are going to start with that and just see how it builds up, and see what's going on, and see what will happen in the future. and then later on, I got a hold of some old people that I used to know back in the day, and I also got to know another person through a stream that I did. It was a random stream I did with a random person, and it was a really funny stream. And so I met this guy. His name is Claw. Unfortunately, he doesn't work in 540 anymore. Nothing bad or anything. He just had other stuff that he wanted to do, and I understand that, real life and other things that he wanted to focus on. But no, so I found him, and after doing a lot of, a year or 2 years on Twitch, just, gaming, and what we kind of did was like gaming and doing a podcast at the same time. Like, we talk about topics while we're gaming, but the problem is it kind of became a little bit hard to talk about topics while we're gaming. Because it was like just, two people mostly talking, and then I got I got Claw. So the other people in my company who was, they didn't talk as much about pop culture. They just wanted to play games. So I always wanted to do a podcast. I always wanted to do something like, I used to watch a lot of Geeks and Gamers. I used to watch Ivan Ortega and so many other creators out there, Neurotic and other creators. And I wanted to do something similar. It's like, even before, all those people, I used to watch other old podcasts and all that. And I always wanted to do that. And also, the whole thing with the company, that was my biggest inspiration to start a company. It was Donald Trump. He was my biggest inspiration to start a company and start business. No, so we just figured out that we're gonna move over to YouTube. So we moved over to YouTube, and then our first episodes that are unfortunately not there anymore, was about Star Wars. We did a first podcast. It was about the sequel trilogy, and this was in 2020. 2020, and then we started with the whole podcast, and the original name we had for the podcast was From a Certain Point of View. We had three different people in the panel. It was me, who's an expanded universe guy, and I will defend expanded universe with my whole heart. And then we had, a normie. The other guy he was a normie. He was not, he haven't read comics and books and all, just watched the movies. And then we had Claw, who was in the middle. He liked some of the Disney stuff, and he liked some of the expanded universe stuff. So it was like three people's views, and we had like a discussion, and what they liked some stuff with the sequels. I didn't like any stuff. So we had like conversations like that, and that just evolved more and more. And then we started doing podcasts. It started with, I don't remember the goddamn days that we did podcasts, but we just started doing more and more podcasts, and then suddenly people started to find us, start to hear about us. And then I joined Echo Base Network on some shows, and that helped. It helped us, and then I showed my face for the first time on a stream. But no, so I met a lot of great people there and stuff like that. And later on, I met, unfortunately, rest in peace, Cardinal Sin, one of the most great guys, people who was ever on YouTube.
He definitely was.
He really was, and I haven't really talked much about that after his death. And I just haven't I haven't found the right time to like talk about it, because we focus on so much. But Cardinal Sin is one of the few people that had so much belief in 540 Studio, and he pushed us and he pushed us. And me and him, in the back room, when we talked alone and stuff, we had so much, fun times. And he talked to me like what he can see in the future with our company, and he would love to do more stuff with us, and he wanted to push us so much. And so I'm really grateful for all the support and love that he gave to us with my company.
He supported so many of us
He did.
in the YouTube community, and I'm grateful for the few times I did get to stream with him. And unfortunately, I wish I had the time to join him on his last stream that he
Yeah.
had.
If there's one thing I miss, man, that is when me and him argued music. Before we did streams, we used to argue what kind of bands are the best and all that. And he was a vegan guy, right? And he knew he knew my view on veganism. So me and him, backstage a lot of times, we had like heated arguments about it. And it's just like, but I still love you though. We still love each other. It was just like it was so fun,
And that's the thing about a friendship is you can have arguments over silly little things, but you still hold on to that friendship. You don't take offense to
Yeah.
it.
Yes. But no, so
Well,
that's not
sometimes that friendship begs for that little banter that goes
yeah.
back and forth because
Yeah, exactly.
it really is. It's not really anything serious. It's just busting each other's chops, and I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people understand that out there, especially though. I don't think people say it gets thrown around so much, the word woke, but especially the woke because they have no sense of humor and they can't make fun of themselves. And I don't think they can understand how we can pound on each other like we do. And it's like, you're friends? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. No, so that is some of the small origin right there, and we just continued going on, making content, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted 540 the channel to be podcasts, and it also have evolved to like a little bit more than just a podcast. We also have some gaming videos here and there, and we are going to get more into some more gaming content at some points. And I know I disappointed so many fucking friends in October. I know I promised to play horror games. I promised to stream horror games, but I was busy, and I actually have an excuse, and that is that I've been working on a fucking music video for a long time for a band in Norway. So I'm not even finished yet. So I've been spending a lot of time on that video, but I will get back to playing some horror games on the channel. I promise.
Disappointed.
Very cool. And real quick, I do want to say hello to Leia Rose, the
Hail to
princess of
Leia
YouTube,
Rose.
and the sole member of the Phil McCracken fan club. And speaking of Phil McCracken,
and founder.
We do have Phil McCracken who says that he's happy that I finally fired Cash Money, but how can I fire somebody I never hired? And now replace him with Jacen. Major upgrade.
Well,
Jacen, my favorite snowman.
Oh God.
I mean, it's that thing,
I know I'm white. I know I'm fucking white, man.
And we have the Padawannabe that says ding ding ding. He said the words Star Wars.
Yes.
And of course, we have Dempsey. Oh no, we got Dempsey and T-Gap. What could go wrong? Stay tuned, folks.
Yep. But no, so favorite topics basically, is when I talked about a lot of the origin, it gets to Star Wars. As you see, we have a lot of videos, we have a lot of videos of Star Wars from streams and other stuff, and that is because that's how it all started, with friends and all that kind of stuff, was mostly talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, and Dempsey is even saying debating nerd stuff with friends is what life is all about. I remember those moments above most others. Yeah, because you're constantly trying to prove your point and say, no, it happened this way. It's like debating, the warp drive in Star Trek. No, it has to do this in order for the ship to be able to achieve warp.
Yeah. It's like all the fucking debates I've had with friends, and how many times I have mocked them for being a fucking idiot, and it's like, that's not how it is, because you're a retard, you're a this, you're that, how the fuck do you know? We had so many debates just arguing and getting heated, and it's just like, that is the moments I remember the most when I was younger with my old friends. It's just like the times I wanted to punch my friends because they were wrong, and I actually, it's like, let me get my fucking comic, I can fucking show you the scene, the stuff, dude. And it's like, I didn't live that far away from my friends, so I just like, I'm gonna go home and get my fucking comics, and we will have a fucking debate about it. And I did.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I love about your channel is, when you're all talking about a particular topic and somebody's, of course, talking about the topic as well, but you might feel that they're kind of getting off the point, or they're making a point that's like really you're bringing that up. So you bring up that clip where the character saying "fuck you, shit faced
Yes,
fuckhead."
exactly. That is how that is how I am in real life. So yeah, but Star Wars is my favorite topic to talk about. And there is a lot of topics that I do like, especially when it comes to X-Men. But Star Wars is the main thing. So he asked what bands are the best. Oh, for me, on the first list, it's Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse. The reason is because I love Ronnie Radke. He's one of the most greatest artists out there. And one thing too, he fights against the fucking wokies. Like he mocks the motherfucking shit out of them. And they're like, oh, but he's transphobe, he's homophobe, and all that. And it's like, no, he is not. For fuck's sake, he supported the LGBT for many years. He's a bisexual guy himself, and all that. So no, he's nothing of those things. But he's just honest, and he has his opinions, and he do not care about what they have to say. And all the songs that they are making are fucking bangers. They don't make albums at all. They only make singles when it comes to music. And every time they want to make something really amazing, and that's what they do in the band. And the lyrics, is everything from, it could be political stuff and more, celebrity life and how this, and yeah, it goes through the whole list of stuff like that. And it's just like, that is what I love about Falling in Reverse. So I really, really love Falling in Reverse. And then we have Bad Omens on second place because they are an upcoming popular good band. Sebastian, who is the vocalist, his vocals are insane in the screams, in the cleans, and in lyrics. Really well done. So they are two of my favorite bands. And if I'm gonna go to like more Norwegian bands, we have Mayhem, Abyssic, Gal, and so many that I can choose for.
And he's been telling us about this band called Skunky Taco, and so.
And hail to Jet Sparks.
Hello, Jet Sparks.
Hey,
Good
Jet.
to see you. And we also have Hunty in the chat as well.
Hail, Hunty.
Hey, Hunty.
It's good to see you, lady. And I also see that Depsy says that speaking of music, I do that too. Yeah, dude. And when it comes to that, I am I've done a lot of music myself too. Long before I did, my 540, I did music.
Well, let me ask you this then. As far as your channel is concerned and everything, do you try to incorporate your love of music into your channel?
I've not really done so much music on the channel, but I do have an ongoing project called Lemon Blood on the side, and that is basically, black metal. And I'm doing something different, and I can actually show a clip of it too, because it's my music. It's not copy, you will never get copyrighted for, because it's my beats. It's what I've created myself. But I am, creating some black metal with some other screams. Because one thing I hate with black metal is that they sound like they're taking a fucking shit. I love the music, but when they do vocals, it sounds like a lot of them sounds like they're trying to take a fucking big shit and they're constipated.
That's what I think about Bruce Springsteen. So, I mean.
So I have a project that I'm doing on the side, and I am working on a lot of different music right now. But I have, talked about it. If I'm gonna do some other music, I might do a little record label on the side of 540, because not many people know that. A lot of people think that 540 is just a YouTube channel, but it's more than just a YouTube channel. Because I work as an editor. I work as a everything from director, writing, editing film, YouTube videos, and it's so much more. And we want to get into comic writing and make comics at some point also. So I did talk with Memenok, who is one of the legends in Norway, he's the vocalist and stuff like that in Abyssic, and he also plays contrabass it's a really big contrabass too. They are really big. He has a video about it, how annoying it is to take on the plane. But no, me and him talked about it once. It's just like the way you think, Jace, about how to run a company and a label is just like that would be so perfect because more people have to be like that. And I have been thinking about that because I'm a different person when it comes to business, when it comes to music, and that is, I don't want to, when it comes to songs that my bands or the bands I have or the vocalists, whatever artists that I want in my company, then is I'm not gonna decide what is gonna be copyrighted. I want my artists, the bands themselves, to decide themselves what they want to be copyrighted or not. Like if they don't want anything to be copyrighted, well, that's up to them. Because a lot of other labels out there, you cannot decide yourself. They are such assholes to a lot of fucking bands and artists out there. They demand that you are gonna rewrite this, rewrite this beat in the song, and we're not gonna release it if you don't do it the way we want it to be.
Right.
So, and I'm not like that, If they want to write a song about full politics, go ahead, make a fucking song about politics. I don't care what side of politics you want to sing about. You're my art, I am the publisher and all that, but this is your music. This is what you want to do. This is what you believe in. Then go for it. I'm not going to demand you to rewrite anything. This is what you want. I can be a helping hand and tell you my honest opinion on certain beats or lyrics. That's completely fine. But I want them to decide. I want them to make their music. I don't want to fuck with their music. I don't want to destroy their music. It's their passion, their songs, and all that. So yeah, with my black metal stuff, I might, at some point use 540 records in a way to release some stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see there, Dempsey is mentioning that he writes his own music, which he does. You can find it on his channel. And who knows? Maybe you and Dempsey can do a collaboration one of these days.
Yeah. Well, that would have been fun, and I can, show a demo if you guys want of the
Yes,
No.
yes, please, yes,
project.
please.
So
I
you will
get-
not you will not get any copyright or anything because this is all me and I don't copyright people. For so this is just it is just some seconds clip of the Lemon Blood project. And I am using different screams in this song. I'm using exhale and inhale, and not many people does inhale. But the reason I do inhale is because I want it to sound like black metal, and I want to do something else. I just need to share the audio too.
Okay.
That is kind of important, or you can't hear it. So there we go.
Bring it back up on screen.
There we go.
So this is and yes, the song is named Religion, and the lyrics can be really controversial of what I say in the lyrics. No, I have nothing against people who are Christian. I just want to make that statement, even though it sounds like I do in the song. But it's black metal, and a lot of the lyrics with black metal, is those kind of lyrics, and the song is more going through. Talking more about war and how religion is it's going to put songs. Yeah, that would have been funny. But it goes, more about, a lot of religions will get pushed on other people, and the wars that we have in the world, and all that kind of stuff. And we see how the world is now with war and other stuff. I'm not going to get into that whole topic, but I think you guys know what I mean with it.
Yeah. Current real life situations, current
Yep.
events.
Yes. So this is the song, Religion, short demo. I posted it so I could share it to people, and a lot of black metal friends that I do, who celebrities in Norway, is just like, you need to finish this song no matter what. I'm like, yeah, sure. So let's get into it.
Can you turn it up just a little bit?
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do on my side.
Yeah.
Okay, it won't let me turn anything up.
So that is the little demo teaser that I did of some black metal stuff.
Hmm.
It's not for everybody, of course, but that's kind of music that I listen a lot to. So
It's relaxing.
yeah, dude, for me it is. It's
Oh, yeah,
also
I mean,
relaxing.
it comes to the old saying, to each their own. I mean, and that's not a slight saying. It's like everybody has their own different tastes. And
Yeah, exactly. And like I say in the song too, is that you started a war, and I'm thinking about how the world is right now. That the war here and war there, and they're like, oh, they're blaming, oh, it's because of my religion and all that. No, 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 man, stop doing that. Stop using that as an excuse, and all that. So that's what this song is about, and I'm really excited to finish the song. So.
I mean, you got to put at least one line in that song. The only good war is Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so that is some of the music stuff, at least.
Okay, and Hunty says, I need someone who knows what all words mean. I was called a twonk. A twonk. Sorry.
I have no.
What does that mean?
I know about twins.
I'm with you, Hunty. I have no clue.
I've never. I can guess some stuff.
Music but no karaoke streams. What the hell? Well, me and Cash Money has actually talked about maybe doing, or he might, on 540, that he might do some streams on 540 and do some karaoke streams. We have actually talked about it, and that might happen.
Wait. What? Cash said you guys might do some karaoke streams on 540?
It was his idea, yeah, and I was like, yeah, that would have been cool, dude. Like, if you want to do some, if you want to do that on the channel, it's fine.
I'll make sure to put some earplugs in my ears.
Here it is. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it.
A cross between.
I'm about to lose control,
Oh.
and I think I like it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's our Cash Monet singing.
And Big Daddy T-Gab says twonk, a cross between a twat, plonker, and wanker, not used as a serious insult, more of a friendly, playful insult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that some of those words in there, I just didn't know that second word. I know the first and last, but it's like, what's that other one?
But yeah, so yeah, at least I got to show some of the music stuff. And the fun thing is too, with that music is that was gonna be a secret project, but I was on Midnight's Edge and I completely forgot, and I was like, hey, yeah, they asked me what I did and stuff, and I just like, yeah, I started doing some music, and I'm just like, fuck, like this is gonna be a secret project until it was done. Like, it was gonna be done before I talked about it. It's like, oh, fuck it, just fuck it. I'm just gonna say,
happened?
Yeah.
Wasn't Andre there? What was it? Something that where Andre wasn't there and they needed to have a Norwegian on the quick. So they had a Norwegian from Wish. Yeah. Andre from Wish.
Hey, shout out to Andre, love you, bro. Yeah, but my English is better than yours.
Oh wow!
Oh boy! Oh boy! There's a clip I need to play.
Hey, Andre, you sound like a Finnish person.
Oh!
Oh boy! Oh,
he knows.
Boy.
He knows.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I did actually,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
I actually told him on one stream once. I said the first time I heard you on Midnight's Edge, I thought you were Finnish or something, and I found out you were Norwegian. I'm like, oh shit, you're actually Norwegian, but you did sound like a Finnish guy. Sounded like you were from Finland.
And then there was that dead air. The only sound is teeth grinding.
No, so we had fun about it, you know. But good friend, a good friend. Too bad he cannot join me this month to Game Expo, but he wanted to. But he didn't have time and he was not home and stuff. But hey, next time, man, we're gonna try to figure out something and meet up.
Definitely. And I do want to say hello to Miss Martin Muses. Good to see you.
Oh, hi. Been a while.
Hey, Miss Muses. But yeah, is there more stuff you want to know about the company and origin stuff?
Well, you mentioned your love of comics and how you want to create a comic. You've
yeah.
had two comic creators on 540 Studio, and
Yes.
Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell us how you met those guys?
Oh yeah, completely. So I'm huge fans of Mike Barron and Chuck Dixon. You know, they created some of my favorite fucking stories in comics. You know, you have the Good Punisher that they did, Bane, the Badger, and you know, both of them are working for Eric July now. And you know, there's so much good that is coming out with Mike Barron and Chuck Dixon. But no, I met them through Pop Culture Minefield because of Gary, because you know he knows them and stuff. So that's how I met them. You know, I met them there, and dude, I was overwhelmed when I met them. Like, oh shit, dude, I never thought I was ever gonna get that opportunity to meet some of the idols that I have grown up with. You know, that the comics I read and some of my inspirations to start with comics. You know, never thought that I would ever meet people like that. And no, so I just met them there, you know, we start talking, and after the streams that we did together, we just had contact after, you know, we talked and became more friends and get to know each other a little bit more. And after that, you know, just like, hey, dude, I would love to have you guys on the channel. You know, I would just love to talk about certain topics and you know introduce you to you know our world in on YouTube and all that. And they were like, hell yeah, you know, they want to do that. And after that, you know, it became what it is, and we are getting them back, and you know, we're good friends. And shout out to Chuck Dixon, who's finally getting his 11th trade to a movie. So hey, shout out to Chuck Dixon for that, man. Yeah, I had to congratulate him when I saw that. I'm like, oh shit, you have David Ayer, Sylvester Stallone writing the script, and Jason Statham as the main character. I'm like, dude, that is a perfect mix of an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you know, it was really fun getting to know them. And you know, one thing with me is that I never treat you know, celebrities or bigger people, I never treat them like, you know, oh, you're everything, you know, I'm simping, I'm doing this. Now I treat everybody, you know, as a friend, as a person. It's like I had this conversation a couple of days ago, is that one thing I hate with a lot of people is that they're simping for every content creator or celebrity and all that. Just stop it. Just treat them like a normal person, you know. And I see, you know, a lot of these celebrities, for example, oh, they want to do autographs, and it's just like, oh, it can go up to like 60,000 kroners and more. It's like so expensive. I'm like, dude, you're just a normal fucking person. Come on, dude. It's like if I ever became a fucking celebrity in any shape or form like those people, I would be like, fuck that. I'm gonna sign it for free. I don't want people to fucking pay for anything like that. I'm just a normal fucking person. And I never do autographs of people mostly because I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about autographs. I don't care about, you know, you signing anything and all that. What I care about is the book, the movie. I care about what you create. That's all I do. And, you know, for me, it's just fun to meet you or talk to you and just, you know, learn more about the person as a normal person. You know, I never treat anybody, no matter how big of a celebrity you are. I will never treat you like you're everything in the world or a god, you know. I will never treat people like that. Just treat like a normal person.
Let me ask you this. You know, if you know you were to meet a celebrity who, you know, you follow them throughout their career, you like their work. Would
Yep.
you, try to ask them about, their work, of course, but also some of their other interests? Just try to
Yeah.
get to know them a little better.
Yeah, I want to get to know them, I want to get to know them, who they are. And, I don't care about their fame in that kind of sense. I don't care about their fans or their fame. I care about the person, But I just need to refresh StreamYard because StreamYard is acting up right now.
Oh no. He's refreshing StreamYards. Oh, there you go. But we all know.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and we all know that if he had a chance to meet Megan Fox, he'd be simping all over her. Absolutely,
I don't know. Why don't you ask Jace?
There.
Yeah. We were just saying that if you met Megan Fox, you'd be simping all over her.
Oh God, no! That's only plastic, plastic. Oh.
I thought you liked plastic.
No,
Captain
I don't.
Plastic, man.
No, man, I don't. But no, it is the same. I've gotten this question a lot because one of my best friends in Norway, he's one of the most biggest Norwegian YouTube creators out there. Shout out to my friend Kattekryp from Norway. One of my all-time best friends. He's a big YouTuber. He has been a big YouTuber for a long time. He fought for the fame that he has. He's fought for everything that he do. He did it all by himself. He's just a good, independent, good creator out there. One of the OGs from Norway. And I've had this, all these questions from people. Oh, don't you care that he has so many followers and fame and all that? How do you feel with your channel being smaller than his? I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care that our channel is smaller than his. I do not care. I don't care that he's famous. He became my friend. He's a friend. I'm happy for the fame. I'm happy for everything that he's done. I'm fucking proud of him. But I don't care about his fame. I care about him. He became my friend. I started learning stuff about him, who he is, what he believes in. And that's everything that I care about. He's my friend, and I will support him through thick and thin on if he streams or YouTube or if there's certain drama. I will be there for him. But the fame doesn't bother me. I don't care about the fame. I care about him.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it funny? Sometimes you meet someone, you get along great with them, and then you find out later that there's somebody that they've done something. They're an artist or a writer or whatnot, and it's like, oh well. The thing is the friendship came about because of the real clicking, not
exactly.
Oh, you're somebody big, and those are the best ones.
And the thing too is that the first time I ever met him, I barely knew who he was. I have a sister. My sister. She's a huge fan of him. That's the only reason why I knew who he was, because of my sister. But I was just like, hey, that's him. So I just, with my ex-girlfriend at the time, I was like, yeah, just, I want to take a picture just for fun so I can like send to my sister and be like, hey, sis, see who I met, your biggest crush. I met your crush, But no, so I barely knew who he was. And, this was on Game Expo some years ago. And I remember he watched one of the streams when I actually mentioned him. And I'm like, he's whatever, on YouTube, like, whatever, I don't watch his stuff and kind of, it's whatever. But then, I get to know him. And then we started to talk. I started to watch more of his videos. And I'm just like, you know what? It is actually pretty fucking entertaining. I'm like, I'm fucking proud of you, man, that you have done so much and you have actually become so fucking famous and big because you have fought for this, dude. It's amazing,
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but you always seem to run into some people who think it's all about the numbers. Oh, I have this many followers, subscribers,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I've gotten this many views, and some of them they let it get to their head. They let it get to their head. They think they're bigger than everybody else.
Yeah,
I would let Cash know that I got more people than he does. I mean,
yeah, but I've seen this trend. There's a lot of people out. I'm not gonna name names, but there's a lot of people here and there. So it's like, oh, this content creator is so big. I want to be there so I can grow. But they don't care about the people's content. They don't care about this and that. They only care about fame. And I'm like, is this the only reason you do content on YouTube or Twitch? Is it only because you want money and fame? That's not okay. Why don't you actually do something that you want to do? Make something you want to create. Be yourself. Show the world who you are, what your beliefs are, and all that kind of stuff. Don't do anything just for fame. I hate when people just, I want to be famous. I want to do YouTube. I want to be famous. I want money. And no, that's not how you do it. Create something you want. Create something content that people can relate to or follow, whatever. If it's gaming, pop talk, or whatever the hell it is, just do something that people will be interested in, but don't do anything just for money.
And
It's
most
like,
importantly, when you get there, don't change anything. You got there for being who you are, and
yeah.
don't change that.
No, it's like I've seen this trend, since I was young. People like YouTubers and Twitch people that are like super famous now, they change. It's all about being famous. It's all about going to like, the BlizzCons and get prizes for being such a big Twitch streamer or whatever stuff is like, and that's all they care about. They change their content, they change their personality, and then you can go back on their old stuff and just like, this is who they are.
Where's that person I met so many years ago, or even a year ago, before they, hit the algorithm right, or happen to stream the right topic at the right time and get the attention?
Yeah, because most
Where did this person go?
Yeah, it's like with 540 also is that one thing, because we have been on YouTube for I think 4 or 5 years ish. And yeah, we haven't, we have how many we have like 412 subscribers. And I've seen, a lot of other friends of mine growing a lot faster than we have, but I'm like, I don't bother with it. One thing I do not focus on is the numbers. I'm happy to see it grow. I'm really happy, but I don't focus on that. If I lose subscribers, I don't focus on that. It's just like, yeah, it is whatever. It happens. This is YouTube. This is life. This is how it works. But it's not going to bother me. I'm still going to create the content we do, create the videos that we do, and just keep pushing and keep going on. It's like my great grandmother used to say, life's too short, make the most of it. And that's a rule I live by. And, I hate when people are like, oh my God, I'm losing people. Oh my God, am I doing something wrong? And they start complaining and start tweeting or Facebooking like they want to delete their channel or other stuff like that. Come on, dude. If you do that, then you are gonna lose followers because you are becoming a toxic, annoying little bitch.
Well, how many times have you
sometimes
seen a YouTube video where the main title of the video and the thumbnail pretty much just saying it's over, and then a few days later or even a few weeks later they're back and they're acting like they never even made that video before?
Yeah, exactly. And no, and I will never, if we say that we lost like 20 subscribers tomorrow, I would not go online and be like, oh, boo-hoo me, I lost so many subscribers. I want to quit YouTube. I want to quit this. I'm tired. No, I would not. I was just like, okay, we lost some followers, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep fighting to get them back and continue making content for people.
And speaking of
sometimes if you
someone
lose
who
a
does
follower,
fight to create content, and he does wonderful content over on his channel, we have Spock from Spock's Friday Nights. Good to see you, Spock.
sounds logical.
Yeah.
But
But
sometimes
no.
when you lose, if you lose followers, sometimes it means you're doing something right because
Sometimes,
you're
yeah.
sticking to your guns. Yeah, you're whatever. They might
Yeah.
not like it because, oh my God, you just offended. I'm such a Raylo fan. How dare you go after the sequel trilogy like that, or whatnot?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's like, well, I'd rather have followers that are true followers of the channel
Who actually
than to have the
that actually have balls to have two different opinions.
right. Right, exactly. I'll come in here and like, okay, well, I do not agree with you on that one, but okay, that's no problem. I
Yeah.
can, I'm a big boy. I can, I can take it. That
Yeah.
type of thing. So
I'll give
sometimes
you
losing.
I'll give you a perfect example of different opinions. Crit and I had our different opinion on the RoboCop Rogue City demo. I didn't like it for one main reason, because I felt the controls needed some work. And then the other
Yeah.
day, Crit and I were talking, and he says the full game, the controls have been worked out. And I said, "You're not BSing me on that, are you?" He says, "No, they've really worked them out." So by talking with Crit, I was convinced to buy the game, and I did. And
Yeah.
he was right. The controls were worked out.
And I could also use an example, me and Cash, he likes Andor, I hate Andor. And I will give him all the fucking shit in the world for liking Andor, but I love him.
Hey,
He's a good
Cash,
friend.
I
And
haven't seen Andor, but I'm going by Jason's word. Andor is shit. Shit
yes,
door.
Andor
shit
sucks.
door, yes.
Andor sucks.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I haven't seen it
but
either, but I'm just blindly following Jace because I'm just one of those Sticklefoot fans. So
yeah, exactly.
followers. So it's
But
like
no,
anything he
it's a lot of
says.
people I disagree with. It's like, oh god damn it. When I came out and said the Northman movie is one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen, a lot of the fucking community that they were like, what the hell are you talking about? It's not a woke movie, it's a good movie, it's like this and that. I'm like, I don't care if the movie is woke or not. I still think this was a trash movie. The pacing, the fighting, and so much more, the dialogue delivery, the acting, there was so many things missing, and it just felt so weak. And thank you for the subscriber, man. Thank you, dude. But it just felt so weak, and people are like, we can't. What the hell are you talking? And it's like, I don't care, man. This is my view, and I will stick to my guns how I feel about it. And then Baron wants his followers to have balls. Good one.
Unless they're women, I don't like. I like women with no nut.
But and the same thing, a lot of disagreed with me that I think Morbius was a good movie. A lot of people disagreed with me, but
How
I
dare
liked
you?
the movie. Oh yeah, but I liked the movie. I didn't like the after credit, the credit stuff with Vulture and all that kind of stuff. That's stupid. But everything else, I really enjoyed the movie, and I wish there were more scenes that wasn't cut out. But I liked the movie. I thought it was I enjoyed the movie. I think Jared Leto did a proper good job, and it just, the movie reminded me of the good old Blade times. It reminded me of the Underworld times. I just like, that's the vibe I want to go after. It's not woke. It doesn't have this stupid politics. It's just a escapism. It's a fun movie. Jared Leto really looks like the character, and I felt that he really got the vibe of the character. Is it like super comic accurate? No, but it's still really good, and it reminded me of Blade. It reminded me of Underworld, and I was really happy with the performance with that movie. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're so fucking wrong." I'm like, I don't care about your fucking opinion. I like the movie. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
You'll find that he does not like anything much, and when he does like something, you're not going to like it. So we call Jace Mr. Contrary.
Yeah, it's like
I'll be perfectly honest. When it came to Morbius, one thing I didn't like about it, and it was my main drawback to it, was the night scenes just seemed a little too dark.
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. I can understand that criticism, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of a technical issue than actual anything else.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, that's not so bad.
No.
But is there other stuff you guys really wonder on?
Well, we can mention how we all met. I met you via Cash and Crit.
Yeah, we did. That's how we met. And I'm really happy with it, man. Meeting you guys and getting to know your community also, and doing all this stuff together. It has been an amazing opportunity for a lot of us.
Yeah, and all of us interacting with Phil. I mean, we all give each other shit when we're talking in Discord.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Oh shit.
Of course. No, completely. No, it's all fun. We're good friends, not you guys see us, here on YouTube a lot, but also behind the scenes, we all are really good friends, and we spend a lot of time together. We talk about so many things, and yeah, we do give each other shit and joke around.
And sometimes Chase is right, so we throw a bone now
Yeah,
and
yeah. Sometimes I'm right.
then.
um, but no, YouTube has been a really good experience. Of course, we know we've had our stuff here and there. 540 has changed here and there. People have left, gained new people, of course. And I always go back to this because every time, I've gotten like a lot of messages sometimes about where is the old videos you're talking about, the start of 540, the old content that is not on YouTube. And again, the drama that happened there is public. And, one thing that we didn't like, that we had to address the drama public, because the problem is that one of my old co-hosts, he became a dick. And this is public because this happened on, hey, Wookie, hail,
Good
brother.
to see you, Wookie.
Yeah, but no. So the problem was that this happened really public. So a lot of our audience and a lot of friends saw what happened on the stream. And that is one of my old co-hosts. He started calling, the whole community racists, homophobes, and he went through a whole list. And he started saying to me that, "Oh, Jace, you don't have your own opinions. You're not yourself. Yada yada. You just listen to people who are racist and homophobes." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? You have known me for so many years, and I've always had these opinions. This is the person I've always been." So. And the reason he became mad is because he wanted to defend a trans person. And this was the you remember the guy who had a Star Wars shop, and you had that trans person, who came in
Oh,
and
yeah.
started yeah. So I was defending the guy. It's his
Yeah.
comic shop, and you have this motherfucking idiot going in and have it filmed, and you're trashing just because of a book. Just because of that book and stuff. It's like, come on, dude. It is so fucking stupid. And the person came out on Twitter and tagged people and just like tried to cancel the guy.
Right.
And so I defended that guy. And then you have the trans person, the transgender, as I like to call certain people, having, so my old co-host was trying to defend that person. I'm like, but you need to try to look at the facts here, how this person acted, go through what actually happened, go through the fucking video. He didn't go through the video even. He was just like right to defend the person. I'm like, have you seen the video? Have you seen what actually happened? We went through a whole topic about it. You have not seen the video or anything. And then when he goes through and trashes the whole community, and I'm like, that is enough, that I draw my line right here. And after that, we had a long talk, and I did fire him. And after I fired him, he still had access to our YouTube. And then he deleted, I don't know, over 30 to 40 videos of live streams. So there's a lot of videos, a lot of moments, a lot of work put into those videos and streams, but he just deleted it all for us. So it's just like we lost so much content, and unfortunately, this became public because he fucked up. By hacking us, by going in, writing stuff on, he made like stream names, and like he was gonna dox people in the company, and he called certain people ugly names. And I was like, dude, you have to stop. Like, this is getting overhand. People are seeing what you're doing, and you just have to stop. So unfortunately, it became public, and luckily it stopped. But that's why a lot of the videos back in the day are gone, and I'm really fucking sad about it, because a lot of those videos, it's the origin of 540. It's so much story that we do have there. We have, we had a lot of streams with Cardinal Sin and other people. It was like so many things that I would love to go back to revisit and just see, our origin, how it started, how it is now. But unfortunately, those videos, YouTube couldn't even help us. I contacted YouTube, and they're like, "Can you send us the link to the videos that was deleted?" I'm just like, there is no link anymore. The video is gone. How can I send you a goddamn link? There is no video anymore. So I got really pissed on YouTube right there, but I decided, it happened. It's done right there. And we're just gonna keep on going, still create content, and don't be sad about what happened and all that kind of stuff.
Forge ahead.
It happened, and when you go through YouTube and content creation, there's a lot of things. A lot of people. Let's do this first. I can't gain subscriber at all. Well, I would say that I'm shadow banned, but I'm just unknown. But I get notification that I gain a sub, and I check my numbers hadn't changed. Well, YouTube is really fucking stupid sometimes. Nothing really makes sense sometimes, and I know that certain people will get shadow banned just because they are streaming way too long. I'm like, that is really stupid. It's like, you shouldn't be shadow banned because of that. Yeah, and Wookie is right on that. But yeah, when you are on that whole YouTube thing and content creation thing, it's like you are gonna meet people that you will hate, that you will not get along with. You are gonna take chances on certain things, and it's not gonna work out. Some drama will happen here. And stuff like that will happen, and
Yep.
you will learn from it. And
You're absolutely right. I mean,
yeah,
let's take Pop Talk for example. Used to have open panels each and every episode. And then because of things that were happening, I brought it down to just 2 open panels. And things were still happening to where now it's just 1 open panel.
yeah. No, it is the same thing too. I used to have open panels, but I stopped having open panels because it I tried it, it didn't work. And it's just like, no, I can't do this anymore. And all that.
I think open panels work when it is not all the time, because then it becomes a little bit more special.
Yeah,
People
like
take
once
a little
in
bit
a
more
while.
serious.
It can be,
I mean, I was doing them once a month, and that was great. When I was broadcasting.
Yeah.
And that's how I kept to that. And well, if I did it all the time, this wouldn't be a special thing. So
Yeah, and at the same time, when you get on the 540 channel with all of us on 540, it's like we are more strict than a lot of people when it comes to like what we talk about, how it works. So you have to like, if you know what we're doing and you pop in the channel, like in our stream, you know that we are really strict. We are focusing on the topic. We try not to go off the topic too much, and I am a really I act like a really professional, and perfectionist on our streams, because I want to get through the topic. I don't want to rail off everything. I want to stay here and then get done with this, get to the next topic, and have a talk discussion. And it's really strict how it works. I also have a list on the side of my computer where we have all the topics. We do this. And no, it's really strict. Always been like that. I like to have this strict rule.
You like to have
there's
a good structure going on.
Yes.
Right. I mean, even though we're doing this for fun, we do take it seriously. I mean,
yes.
You can take fun serious, but you don't want to take it too serious.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I like the structure. I need to be consistent structure, and so we can get through the topics. And no, we have gone to.
And let me ask you this: when it comes to your topics, I know myself, for example, I have the tabs open in the order of what I want to talk about first, what I want to talk about second, third, fourth, and so on, depending on how many articles we're going to be going through. How do you like to do it?
The way I do it is that I'm using kind of the Word program, and then I write down topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. Sometimes I write the name under who is going to talk, who's going to read the article, and then I have the article on the side of topic 1 and the name, so I have it really structured on how it works. So then I don't need to have a lot of tabs open. And every time I'm gonna go, I go in, I copy the link, and then I go to the tab and go to the topic. So I don't have too much of tabs open because I tend to have like over 100 tabs open, and it's getting really annoying because I
Yeah,
do
I
so
do
much.
that too.
Yeah, because I'm really used to have like 3 screens to 4 screens, monitors, but now I only have 2. So it's getting a little bit too much tabs, but that's how I like to do it. So I do it a little bit different than a lot of other people I know, because a lot of people just have it tabs open, but I like to have it really structured on a Word, and who's gonna read it, who's here, and I can just copy paste into the tab.
And I'll also give folks a little hint here too in the description. A lot of times I'll put the articles in the description for the
Yeah, you
links
do that.
in
I
the
really
same
like that.
order as I'm gonna read them during the live stream.
Yeah, exactly. No, I really
And I
like
still
that.
haven't understood that.
No, I really like that. But no, since we did talk a little bit about origins and stuff like that too, I really want to give a big shout out to my great grandmother, rest in peace. One of the greatest women out there who have ever lived. Um, she's a Romani. She's a gypsy basically, because that's the Romani people, and she lived in under World War II and all that, and she's the one that always told me that life's too short, make the most of it. She's the one that always told me that, and that is the rule I live by. And when you look at our logo,
I'm
since
gonna bring your
when
channel back up real quick.
I
yeah.
like that logo.
Yeah, so when you see the logo right here, since I called it, 540, and the name always struck to me because that was a name that I've always loved. And when we were going to create the logo, and we have 2 Fs, and I'm just like, the first drawing I did was of an hourglass, and I never thought about we had 2 Fs. But when me and one of my older co-hosts, we were like talking, I'm just like, what would be really fun to like use the 2 Fs and make an hourglass out of it. And that's what we did. So you have like this hourglass with 2 Fs. And that logo also stands for life's too short, make the most of it. And that is all because of my great grandmother. It's all because of her. She's the one who inspired me to never give up my dreams and never let anyone push me down on my knees, and always stay strong and all that. And she has experienced the war, racism, and so many things in her life. Um, when I talk about racism, I'm talking about real racism and not the fake racism of a lot of stuff that we have today, but real fucking racism about 2 gypsies and all that. The forgotten generation. A lot of people forget what happened to the gypsies in Norway too.
Yep.
A lot of people forget it, and it,
Yeah.
it saddens me. But that's why she had the mindset: life's too short, make the most of it, and do not let anybody push you down, no matter
Yeah.
what. So
Yeah,
this
and
logo is
people realize that during the war, when it came around to a percentile of
yep.
who got hit with the gathering and weeding out, the gypsies were almost obliterated completely. They had, percentage wise, they had a higher
Yep.
grab rate and execution rate, you might say. But a serious
Yep.
question, though. Your mother was, I mean, great grandmother was, of course, there. You said during the war. Was she part of the underground? Do you know?
I don't know so much about everything that my great grandmother did, unfortunately, because I was really young when she passed away. She passed away of cancer, throat cancer. And she was still smoking a lot of cigarettes. She did not care. One funny memory about my great grandmother is we was at the hospital where she was, and my dad and my great grandmother was out smoking, and I was playing around, just walking around playing Star Wars and Marvel and other shit. And I remember one of the doctors who was, watching over my great grandmother came to her and just said, like, you have cancer. You cannot smoke. It's not good for you to smoke. And then she turns around to the doctor, and just show the middle finger, like "fuck you," and then turns back to my dad and takes a cigarette in her mouth, and I'm just like, that is just such a fun memory. But unfortunately, I don't know the whole story about my great grandmother. I wish I did, and the reason too when she died, I don't have the best communication with our family. Um, and there's a lot of drama in the family. I'm not going to get into that, but my grandmother, she doesn't want to talk about the family that much. She doesn't want to. She doesn't care much about it. It is the same thing that my grandfather is not my biological grandfather. He's my step grandfather. And my real grandfather is a German. He's German, and we just know certain things about him. But my grandmother doesn't want to talk about him, even though, I want to know more about my family and more about my legacy, where I'm from, blood-wise and stuff like that. But the family I am from, we are a really messed up family. The only people I really like in my family is, my father, my great-grandmother, and of course, my sister on the other side. It's the only people I really care about, because the rest of the family it's a messed up story with that family. I'm not going to get into that because I don't really talk about my family or my life that kind of sense. All I'm going to say is that if anybody met my family, that of the people I don't like in my family, all of you would not like them of what they have to say, because they are so mentally challenged in their head that, yeah, it is. That's all I'm going to say.
Real quick,
I
I do
asked that
want to
question.
say hello to
Sorry.
Prismatics.
Hail to Prismatics, good co-host. But
because I asked because knowing a lot of Norwegians myself, it was kind of funny. We knew a couple and were married, and while they were courting, it was during World War II, and they found out afterwards that they were both part of the resistance, but two different cells. And of course, you didn't tell anybody you were part of the resistance to anybody.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
So here, boom, it's like, oh, you were part of this cell. Yeah, I was part of this cell. Oh, okay. And that was why we're dating. Yeah, that's why you were running off, huh? It wasn't through those meetings.
Yeah.
No, it's like,
Yeah, but no. So the logo and everything is based on what my great grandmother always told me, and I'm gonna keep that legacy. Always gonna be a part of this. I will always live by that rule. The day I will have kids, I will say the same thing to them: is that life's short, make the most of it, and I will, be there for them the whole road, and no matter what happens, we're gonna stay strong. But no, so it's always been the logo. I'm really happy with it. I when I created the first logo, when I did the hourglass, and I tried to do like some cool stuff with it, a lot of people thought it was a Jewish logo with the hourglass. I'm like, yeah, I need to recreate it too, because I didn't think about it when I created it. I just wanted to try to do something cool, but a lot of people, are you Jewish? I'm like, no, I'm Norwegian. I'm German, Romani, and Norwegian, man. So of course I had to fix that. But no, I'm really happy with the people we have in the company and how it's growing. Even though we have had a lot of changes through the years, but that happens. When you have a company, things will change, people will go, people will come. That is just how it is. It's a part of business.
well, my question.
It's a part of life.
It is.
We don't always stay as we were 5-6 years ago.
No.
There's always going to be an evolution of our own selves.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how a channel should grow. Also, is obviously the channel will not be the same as it was, and you hope that it grows naturally, organically, as we as hosts, our co-hosts, our presenters, our guests, everything. But it's going to change somehow. Like Mike was saying, we don't do this no more. And there's good reasons why. But did it hurt the show? No. Maybe it improved it. But it's trying to do improving to make the show better. Not trying to say, how we're going to get more people. How are we going to get more people? Because if you
Yeah,
work to make
exactly.
it better, you will get the people. Don't focus on the people.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we want to focus on the people that we have and keep them happy. Because if not, we don't want Big Daddy T Gap Steve to write a bad story about us.
Previously on Beverly Hills
Yeah,
414,
exactly.
I
Mike
mean, yeah,
refused to give the members a member stream.
right. And see, that's just it. He's our problem here. No, he's
But no, if there
so,
are other things you guys really wonder, I'm an open book, so.
well, I'm just going to ask kind of a technical thing. What time do you? Because you keep on asking me to come on here, and unfortunately, I never have. If I know exactly what time are your shows, let the audience know what time you have shows and such. That way, we can put it into our little notebooks and say, "Hey, Jason's going to be on at this time."
Yeah, no, I normally have it always the same times on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is
Okay.
kind of in Norway. That is 3 a.m. in Norway, Norwegian time. I don't know what that is in American time all the time. I don't
Well,
because
I
we
can
follow
find
a
out.
different structure. Yeah, we follow a different structure than you guys in America.
Yeah, well, I got my world clock here. Right now, it's 8:26 where you're at, right in the evening.
Yes, it is. It's
So
26,
you're
yeah.
7 hours ahead. So
Yes, we are.
well, if now you're 7 hours ahead. The other day you were 6. So because we had
Oh yeah. But no, so no, it's mostly the beyond is mostly, it can be from 2 a.m. Norwegian time to 3 a.m. Norwegian time. It really depends and how the day is, like my co-hosts and stuff like that, how it is. And with 5cast, it is then the 5cast is gonna be on mostly Wednesdays now, and my main co-hosts for that show is Prismatics and Fenir, my two diversity hires, the LGBT and the black guy, my diversity, man. You can't use shit on me anymore. I have my shields.
And I'm saying this to be funny, Jace, but wait. You stream on Wednesdays? And you didn't even talk to me first?
What the hell?
But the reason I'm mentioning
Hmm.
something like that is because there are some YouTube communities out there who do act like that. Wait a minute, you're streaming at the same time I am?
Oh yeah.
Did you ask me permission to stream at the same time I am?
Yeah. And
No,
I
I
will
don't need
never
your
ask
permission.
I don't need permission from anybody to stream the days I want to fucking stream.
Except me. No, really,
But
honestly,
yeah.
Oh, by the way, and just
So-
so people know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now. Is going to be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. There'll be 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, we're going to get back with the 5cast. I'm really excited to do those shows because, it's earlier in the day and, Prismatics can stay awake.
Yeah.
It's easy for him to stay awake. But no, so we're going through certain topics that we don't get through on the Beyond show. So it's going to be more daily shows and the Beyond shows. And we also have, 5cast with guests. And when we do 5cast with guests, that means, we're going to have Chuck Dixon on, Mike Barron, Memnock, or some other YouTube content creators or something like that we want to get to know. So, that's the shows that we have. I am working on some other shows. The people I want on those shows just needs to get time. Me, Memnock, and of course Lika, the band Lika that I interviewed a couple years ago, a year ago. We want to do a show about metal, about music, and we want to go through the whole, the old days of rock and roll and metal, black metal, until the modern times of the new stuff in metal, metalcore, deathcore. Deathcore is fantastic, that is a mix of black metal, but we're going to go through the more modern day of metal and the old days of metal and like go through the changes and what works, what didn't work, what works in the new world, what worked in the old world, and what didn't work here and there. Because and talk about certain labels and our gripes with certain labels, and we have a lot of stuff like that we are working on. And I also try to make a show with Memnock, and I need to find another co-host for that show because we want to talk about martial arts. Because Memnock is also a martial artist, and he's trained by Ted Wong and Stephanie Kander, who were good friends with the Lee family. Ted Wong was also a personal friend of Bruce Lee. Um, and I practice with Memnock. It is funny to say I'm part of the Bruce Lee legacy in martial arts. It's like it's weird to say. I was always a big fan of Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee as a kid, and then Memnock is like training me, and he's trained with some of the good people, the legacy people who knows the Lees and all that. And just it is a really fascinating world. But we want to talk, about martial art movies, maybe MMA stuff, and actually talk about martial arts that works, what doesn't work, and what is, fucking stupid that they mess up in the movies, and what they should have changed, with choreograph and make it believable, body language in fighting in movies and stuff like that. Because there's so many things that modern movies and really mess up with fighting. They don't have the body language. And take the Star Wars sequels, for example. Where is the body language in the fighting? Where is the body language? Where is the storytelling behind the fighting? Where is the movements that makes it believable? There is none. There is none.
The so-called sequel trilogy had the worst lightsaber battles ever. All three films. It's just like you put somebody out there and say, okay, swing this around like a stick and we'll make it look good in post-production.
Yeah, really, really stupid. And now go through stuff like that. I think is really important. And I love martial arts. And martial arts is one of my things that I grew up with loving. And no, at some point too, as I said, that 540 is also at some point we are gonna do films and comic books, but films is one of the things I always wanted to do. That is create films, create TV shows, and that is a big part of 540. And we are going to do a fan film of Star Wars, of course, because Star Wars, come on. But the fan film that we're going to do in 540 is the Star Wars, the original script of Star Wars before it became a movie with, when they had Anakin Starkiller and Padme and all the different stories. You had Vader being his own character and a lot of this kind of stuff, stormtroopers with lightsabers. But we are going to change it up, rewrite a lot of stuff using that as a concept. And we are using that concept, and to create a cool fan film in more this universe of the original concept. So we have a lot of original characters that we have been writing for years now. But every project can take years. That's why I always say couple of years. I never know when this is going to happen. We need the money. We need we need so many things to create this. And of course, everything is going to be filmed in Norway with this movie. And I will also call Finse, where they filmed Hoth in Norway, because they still have meetups and all that kind of stuff. And I want to call them and ask, hey, can we film here? No matter, maybe you have to pay a little, and a lot of you people who cosplays and your conventions here and all that, you guys can be a part of it. You all can be a part of it, be a part of the movie. So we are gonna do that at some point. And then we have a whole a trilogy of horror movies. We have a trilogy of a story of a horror movie, a trilogy, and then I have another horror movie that I want to make, and there's a TV series I want to make, and of course there's comics I want to make. So, and again, also with 540, it's like, yes, I know I'm the face of 540. I know that people a lot of people come there sometimes because, oh, Jacen, I've heard that a lot, and it's just like, don't focus just on me. I want you guys to focus on my panelists, the co-hosts too. They make a lot of great content. They are fantastic writers, and there's so many great people there. And I want them to get more known. You know, I want them to get more known. I we have Moss, one of my great co-hosts. He is such a fantastic artist. His drawings, the way he makes stuff, me and him have talked about doing some comics together, and it would be fun to do a superhero comic or sci-fi comic.
Mhm.
And we have Moss, help with the art. If he has input to the story, it's like, dude, just get your IDs and everything, and we will write everything down. We will take what fits and take away stuff that doesn't fit. But we we want to create so much more than just YouTube. So, and I want everyone in the company to be able to create something they want. It's the same thing that I say. If they want to do a show on the channel, make whatever show you want. Just give me a heads up. Tell me what show you want to do, and we will fix it. We will create the show. We will get the logo, the name, everything for it, and let's just do it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I do want to say hello to Low Spec Linux Laptop. Good to
Hail
see
to
you.
Low Spec.
One of our favorite penguins. I was talking to the other
Yeah.
penguin yesterday, and I think Penguin Dome is going to be on. 2 penguins enter, 1 penguin leaves.
Yes, I have actually
Yeah.
sent Punk Waddle a message about appearing on Pop Talk.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
And he said,
Exactly.
so we're trying to figure out what he said. So
But yeah, if there's more stuff you really want to wonder, I
Do you find it easy to collaborate with other creators, whether it's on YouTube or those who are interested in creating a comic like you are or creating music?
if I think it's easy to like collaborate, well, it is a hard question because the thing with me, I am so fucking strict. The thing with me, when I work, we say we are working on a film, for example, right? And we're gonna do meetings, storyboarding, and other stuff. Is that I turn off my friendship. I'm not your friend when we are creating the story. I'm not your friend. Now it's all business. Now it's all creation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, Now we're gonna sit down, write the story, yada yada. So if it gets heated and we have debates, well, I'm not your friend, so I will be brutally honest if you create something I think is fucking bullshit. Um, so it really depends if the people I work with actually have the balls to like handle criticism, handle a debate of what we're doing. So it really depends on the other person. Because for me, it is easy to work with people that I don't agree with. It's easy to work with most people, but I turn off my friendship, and we're gonna be serious now. Serious. We're gonna do a movie. We have to get the plot, we have to get the story before we do anything else. The story comes first. I
Mhm.
don't care if the story takes 2 years. We're going to create the fucking story and go through every little single detail that we can and try to avoid plot holes and all that kind of stuff. We're going to try
Crunch
to
the
have,
numbers for the production budget so you know what
yeah.
you can spend, this amount of
Yes,
money on and
exactly.
what you can't spend.
Yes, exactly. And
well,
and
you
I
don't want
worked.
you don't want to be like the sequel trilogy where it's like, okay, let's just go out there and just do our own thing, even though
Yes,
everything's supposed to be
exactly.
tied together.
Yes, exactly. And the thing too is, it when we get to the point of like casting for a movie and stuff, for the fan film of Star Wars, I already had, 2 of the projects I have planned in the head with 540. I already have cast. Memnock is one of the cast members of 2 of my projects. But he also knows I am really strict. And it's like we'll say that I'm gonna cast, some of the characters in no matter what film it is. I will be brutally honest. I'm not your friend. You're not going to think I'm your friend, but I'm going to be really honest if you do a shitty job. We say that I give you, we use you, Mike, as an example, right?
Okay.
You come into you are going to try to get the part of the main character. And I give you the dialogue, and I want you to see if you can do the dialogue, the delivery, how you live into the character, and if you can believe that you are the character. And if you do a shit job, I will tell you straight out that this is something of the worst shit I've ever seen. I know you can do better than this, but this is fucking terrible. Like, this is, I will use, I will call you a fucking retard, basically. I will use that term if you do a shitty job. And I will be really mean in the way I say stuff, but I say it with love. I say it with love.
You'll basically say something like this if any of us screws up.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass? That's what happens.
Exactly. Well, I'm not violent, but but I will be brutally honest, and I'm not brutally honest because I hate you or I want to be, I want to remove you from my life or anything. I'm brutally honest because I believe you can do a better job. I want to see your potential. I want to see the passion, even if it gets a little bit, even if you get tears, even if you cry a little. I know a lot of creators I love, of movies, they can be really strict. And, you have all the rumors and all this, it's like, oh, he was so mean to me, blah, blah. Yeah, but sometimes you need to be a little mean.
Mhm.
You have to be
Yeah.
strict.
It's a term I've always loved, and it's a term that I use sometimes. Is sometimes you have to be a hard ass on people.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is. I saw a clip. I saw not a clip, but a video, and I watch a lot of music productions and stuff, and this is a K-pop group, and the guy who runs the label is one of the most famous K-pop stars in the world, and it's his company, and I see how he works, right?
Mhm.
Yes, exactly, Steve,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mm.
But I see how he works, and he got a lot of shit. A lot of these fucking idiots out there trying to cancel him because he made so many singers cry. But that's because he was brutally honest. He wanted them to show their real potential. I watched the whole thing. I listened to the dialogue, I listened to what he had to say, and I agreed with him. I know you can do these tones of singing better. I know you can do this. And if you do this, you'll make a fool out of yourself because we know you're better. We've heard it in other projects. You can go to this tone. You can do this. So he was really strict, but he's been in this industry for many years. Like, this guy's probably around 50 almost, I think. And he's been in this industry for many years. He knows how to get a good product, and he wants to help them. He's not an asshole because he wants to be, but he's a professional.
Mhm.
And a lot of
Mhm.
these other younger Gen Z people and stuff like, oh, he's such a meanie. He needs to be canceled. He needs to be. I'm like, no, he's doing the best job he can do to make them show their potential and make the best album and songs they can. You have to be rough sometimes. If
Mhm.
they have a bad singing tone, like we say that you are doing a high note and it sounds false. Of course, we have to say like, oh, that was actually shit. It sounds fake. It's not no passion. It's not believable, and it hurts to listen to. You can do better.
Mhm.
Focus. Do this. We know you can. And then I saw another video that people used an example of another K-pop company, and they are praising everything. They don't give any hard feedback. They're like, "Oh my god, you're so good at singing this. This is gonna be a great song." And I'm just like,
Mhm.
that's not gonna work. You're just praising, and if they have the wrong tone, the wrong vibe to the song, and or sing false, you're praising it. Then they will think that it's good. It's not how it works. You have to be critical. You have to work hard,
Yeah.
and so yeah. For me, it's all about being a professional, even if you have to be a fucking dick sometimes. But you
Well, I
have to
mean,
be brutally honest.
right. That's why people wonder why were things so great, uh, even 30 years ago or 20 years ago. Like Tolkien and Lewis and a bunch of others being part of the Inklings, where they all sat around once or twice a week and critiqued each other's work, and they were brutal if if there was something in there, they were brutal about it, not to tear it down or be mean, but it's like, hey, this
Yeah.
doesn't work. You got to do something. And that's just it. We have such a, what would you say, such fragile egos right now that people think their shit don't stink and it's the greatest there is. And no one, anyone who says otherwise, again, they get the name calling, and we get things like "I am dumpster fire," and oh my God, I sent some images to the guy, Cash and Mike, about this is real art in a comic book for Marvel, and it's like
Exactly,
this is
exactly.
embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. No, you have to be
Well,
brutally
I'll
honest
give you
sometimes.
guys an example too. I listened back to my stream from yesterday playing RoboCop, and I was, listening. I'm thinking, okay, I can hear the game fine. You could hear me, but not as well as you should be able to hear me between the game volume and my voice volume. So I know for next time, just alter the volume a little bit, balance them out.
Yeah. No,
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with criticizing if you're doing it proper, if you're really wanting to make improvements. If you're just going out there just to whine, bitch, and moan and tear somebody down, you're worthless.
Yeah.
But if you're, the thing is again, we get labeled with all these names, but reason why a lot of us are making our criticism because we love this property, we want to see it better.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And we're letting you know where you did things wrong, and then they focus on like the one or two true trolls that went out there and say, see, they're all like this.
Rosario Dawson might have been able to act her way out of a paper bag with cheat codes and given $2.50 in Ahsoka if Jacen been the one in charge of making her give half a damn.
Well, I mean, take a look. What's her name again? That's playing "quote unquote" Snow White.
Rachel Ziegler.
Yeah,
Rachel
look how the press is so hard trying to prop her up right now. And again,
I will say, if I had anyone in my company being such a fucking idiot, I would have been so I would be critical, and I will call up my actor or whatever. I would be like, you just need to shut the fuck up. You are making everything that we are doing right now sound and look a lot more worse than what it should be. You are destroying what we are creating. You just have to step back. And I will not, you will not get any, if you continue this, you're not going to have any interviews. You're not going to be anything like that.
Right.
I'm going to be strict with that. And I was going to say, like, if I'm ever going to collab, when I will collab with Memnock and we're going to do like some music together and, all that, if I do bad takes with my vocals, I want him to fucking be rough and just say it right straight out that this is bad. You can, I want him to be critical the most harshest way he can, because
do it over again.
Yes, if I have to do 100 takes to make it perfect, I will fucking do it. I will take the criticism because I like criticism. I think it's important, and that drives me to become. I need to be better. I can do better.
I have another video here of Jace at work.
It stinks.
Yes, exactly. But no, is there any other questions?
I'm sure Barrett has a few questions he'd like to ask. And
well, where were we at here? Okay, we're at 147. Okay, so when it comes around with all the streaming that you're doing,
yes.
Now, are you feeling you're really getting into that proper groove, or is there areas you truly want to change? Firing cash money, stuff like that. I mean, but no, I mean, it took a while for Mike to get the team that he has here. Obviously,
yeah,
and there's sometimes that shuffle. Who works the best with who, and we don't want to try to copy. Have you been afraid that you might be copying somebody else's style?
No,
you don't want to do that.
I have never been afraid of copying anybody because I've always been, I know what we do on YouTube is not original. None of us YouTubers are original. A lot of us do podcasts. We all, are doing a lot of the same stuff.
Hold on. No, nobody died thousands of times when the game is original.
Man. Oh man. But no, but
you do it with art and style.
Yeah, and even though a lot of us podcasters, we're not original, of course, as we are many who does pop culture talk and
Right.
whatever, but it is the how you run it, how you want it to be, and be yourself, even if it's not 100% original, but you have to be yourself. So I've never been afraid of like copying. A lot of people are like, oh, you I've heard it like, oh, you're trying to copy Geeks and Gamers, you're trying to copy others. Like, no, I'm not trying to copy any of them. I don't want to be any of them.
Right.
I want to be us. I want to be 540.
Mhm.
And we have a lot of different opinions. Everyone is different in the company. The guests, we all have different views. And
Right.
I different I am really brutally honest. Sometimes I can be more brutally honest than a lot of other people, but that's just the way I am. I do
Mhm.
not care like other YouTubers. They might care, be a little bit more careful with wording and other stuff like that and stuff. But
Mhm.
like I say, I don't care if I make you cry under a fucking stream. Like, I don't care. When I
Mhm.
talk about my view, this is my view, and I will say what I have to say. If you cry, that's not my problem. That just means you're sensitive. It's not my fault that you're sensitive about it. Why are you here in the first place if you're sensitive about the topic about these opinions? Um, and No, so I've never been afraid of copying others
Mhm.
because I'm doing what I do, what we do, what I feel is right, and trying to be different.
Right.
Um, and the way to be different, don't think in your mind like, oh, we need to be different. Just be like, we are the way we are. We are gonna do this. Don't think about others. Just do your thing. Don't think about other
Well,
people. Do your thing.
would
Like
it
the way I
be
do.
kind of properly to say that I'm trying to I'm getting inspiration off the style, but I'm making this style my own.
Yeah, yeah. You get your own style.
Right.
Um, just
So
you.
while it does appear to look like somebody else's by the style, when you get into the crux of everything, it's like, oh no, this is far different than even though the structure is like somebody else. This is original. This is
Yeah.
a different take, you might say.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly, Baron. And no, with people and stuff, the thing I do is that it depends on what streams we're doing. I look at
Hmm.
the cast, the co-hosts that I have.
Hmm.
The Beyond is, of course, everybody in the company can chime in. The Beyond is everybody in the company.
Hmm.
But then again, we have like five cast. Well, five cast, a normal five cast with no guests, it's just normal. It's three people. It's normally
Hmm.
me, Chris, and Fenir, because that's the part of this show.
Hmm.
Um, and if I'm gonna do interviews, I'm looking at certain panelists I want. Even if they don't work with me. I've had you, Baron, when we talked with Mike
Yeah,
Barron, Chuck Dixon, and all that.
and thank
And
you so much too.
oh yeah, no problem. And I look at the people I want for the certain stream because if I'm gonna do something with, we say Chuck Dixon, it's important that I have someone on the panel that also knows about his work, that understands his work, and are familiar with this work.
Hmm.
Um, and then I also want some people who are more normies, who doesn't know all of his work, so we can get actually some different questions, some different
Hmm.
point of views, because then we will have a discussion
Right.
about it. So I really like that. So I really look into the people I think fits for the certain things we do. It's like
Hmm.
when I am gonna do like the metal music stuff, with Memnock and stuff. If I'm gonna have certain co-hosts on that, well, I'm not gonna choose anybody. I'm gonna choose certain people that are in the world of metal, that understands more of the metal world, so we can have the discussion of the differences and other stuff like that. So
Hmm.
you need to find the right people for certain shows that you're gonna do. And
Hmm.
because when you have like if you have a person who doesn't know anything about the, we say, Chuck Dixon or metal, and it's just like he doesn't have so much to say, he just sits there and just like, I don't know
Hmm.
who you are, I don't know what this is, and
Right.
that's like so I always go after the people I think is important for certain streams.
Yeah, I mean, like for us, Mike, myself, and even Cash, we don't like to pre-read the stories that we have because we want to have our take everything, fresh, real. You might
Yeah,
Fresh
that's
and
the same thing
authentic.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
authentic.
Because
normally what I
that's
also
one
do.
thing I
Yeah.
was telling Baron and Cash
Yeah.
when I started thinking about the channel.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
I don't want it
Well,
to
I
be
agree with
scripted.
you.
I want it to be natural,
Yeah,
real.
that's also what I do. All the topics that we have, there's sometimes I go over topics, and that's just to be sure. Because if certain articles mention some YouTubers said this, YouTubers said that, I'm losing interest because I'm like, oh my god, stop with that. He said this, she said that, goes forth
Yeah.
and back. I'm like, that's a little bit annoying. So I always, watch over for that because I think it's really annoying. It's like, are you going to listen to every single YouTuber what they have to say? They talk a lot about their own opinions. I want the facts. I want the facts. I want the real sources. But normally I never go through the article before the streams. It's just certain topics, certain things I go through before the stream,
Right.
but not many, because I like the original take. I want the first take. And a lot of people have asked me, why don't you do more videos when you go through a topic? Why don't you? It's because I feel like I'm losing the realness of it, because suddenly there's a take that I don't like. I say, I mumble, I say something wrong, and then I have to poof, I have to delete that, redo it. I'm losing the feeling of my real take. Then I have to go over and over it again, and I don't like that. I like to do it on stream. I like to show the real take. One, one man take, on stream. Like
So
that.
you like that real time interaction that you get with your
Yes.
audience,
Yes.
whether it's a panel member or whether it's a member of the chat. You like getting that instant feedback because
Yes.
then you have a
The
discussion back and
realness.
forth.
The
Right.
realness. I like the realness of everything, because for me, realness is important. It's like what I think with many videos sometimes. I'm not gonna name names on YouTubers, but sometimes I feel like the videos are too edited, too fake. I
Right.
feel like they have gone through the take many times. There is no real passion in what they say. And that's why I like, just do it on a stream. If the stream is just 10 minutes, fuck it, just do a 10-minute stream and just
Right.
get the real take on it, the first take on it. And not redo it so many times that's gonna I feel like you're losing me a little bit here. It feels like you've been, writing this down on a script and it sounds like a chat GPT.
Yeah.
Because I like the realness. It's the same thing what I do with black metal. The thing what I do when I sing in the black metal, I normally do one takes. I don't write down anything when I do music. I don't write lyrics normally. When I do black metal, I never write down lyrics. I do everything by myself. I just say the things that pops in my head. What would fit this part? What will be here? So it's gonna be real. Certain other songs, yes, I do write when it comes to more poppy songs and other stuff like that, because that is more tactical. But normally what I do before I write down, at least for pop music and other stuff like that, I sing it. I'm trying to get the melody. I make a melody. I try to sing after the melody, try to find some lyrics. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm just gonna write that down just so I remember what I said. But normally I like to do one takes. I just like to have it the real. So that's what I do with black metal too. It's just like gonna say it straight out and try my best to make it sound real. I don't want to edit the screams. I don't want to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I really like one takes and get the realness out of it.
And I do have another question I want to ask you. From one
Yeah.
host to another, do you get enjoyment out of kicking out your co-host when they just say something? You just go, you know what? I'm just gonna kick them out for a few minutes.
Well,
Oh
I behave
yeah, I
today.
love
I
it.
behave
I
today.
do that sometimes. I love doing that. It's when you say something I don't agree with, I'm just like, you mother, you're like that. You're a motherfucker. You're canceled, man. I'm gonna kick you out of here, man. I think it's always fun to do that.
It is, and Baron got so offended he kicked himself out.
No, so it is always fun to joke around doing stuff like that. That's a part of our show too, is that we joke around a lot, with jokes here and there, and it comes from a place of love. It's like
Yeah.
I have gotten messages certain times, like I think that what you said on stream was really racist. I had certain friends who watches us, and they think certain stuff we say is racist, homophobic. I'm like, what is homophobic? What is racist of the things we said? Yeah, it's like, oh, but you have a black guy on the panel, and I'm just, and yeah,
And
you
you're
can't say what you say,
me?
and
Well,
he's
yeah.
he is joking about it. I am joking about it. We are friends. I know him. We are friends. It's a friendly joke between friends. So what the fuck is your problem?
You mentioned that you have different co-hosts or different backgrounds, and I think for a lot of Hollywood nowadays, that's their only focus is, does this
Yeah,
person meet a quota?
yeah. Does this check the checkbox? Is this right for the checkbox? Dun dun dun. It's like I don't care what sexuality you have. I don't care about your skin color if you're gonna work in 540. What I care about is you. Who are you as a person? What's your views? And I want to get to know you. The skin color, sexuality, dude, I don't fucking care, man. I want to get to
Yeah.
know you. It's like I don't care that Prismatics, is an LGBT guy. That's not what I focus on. I don't care about that. I know him personally. I know who he is, and I love the guy. He's such an amazing fucking guy, and
Mhm.
his takes on stuff is amazing. And I'm happy that I'm happy that I got to know him, and that he wanted to be a part of the company, because his takes on stuff is just like, it's mind blowing. He is so smart, and I just love it. And hanging out with him in real life is also really fun. All the jokes we talk about, and all the fun we have done together. It's just like he's just an amazing fun person.
Mhm.
And with Fenrir too. I've known Fenrir for a couple of years, and I never cared that he was a black guy. I never cared. Every time we talked, I never cared. What I cared about is, like, every time we talked, he is such a fucking geek. He knows his source material. He knows his source material. He goes really detailed in the source material, and he's a
Mhm.
good friend. He cares about the source
Mhm.
material, and we are vibing when we talk off stream, on stream. And I feel like, I want to push this guy. I want him to be more famous. And I'm excited when he also, when he's gonna do more streams on his own. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna help him as much as he wants me to. Same with Prismatics. When they all can, like, when they do more of their own stuff too on their streams and stuff like that, I'm gonna push them, because their takes are amazing. They have so much good to say. And I say that about everybody in the company. Everyone has such a good opinion on stuff, and their opinion really matters. Even if I disagree, I know what they're saying. It comes from their passion. It comes from their love of the IP. Even if I disagree with certain stuff, but I know where it's from. I know why they say this stuff. I know this and that. They are a geek through and through. They care about it, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And but no, I
Well,
have never cared about their skin colors or their sexualities. Never
well, I
Excellent.
think
been.
Excellent.
I think you got the same litmus test as I got. Are you cool?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And it doesn't mean that, do we agree with everything? It's like, are you a cool dude or gal? Do that. I mean, can you go out there? Are you a great person? And even though we don't
yeah,
agree, can we have good debates and discussions about things
yeah,
and not get butt hurt? And again, don't care if you got a rat or what skin color
yeah.
what you have.
Exactly.
It just if you go out there and you're basically agree with everything, you're a clone, you're monotone, like Cash Money, we don't need you. But
Not
no,
Yeah,
saying
I
we don't
get you.
need you, Cash.
I
But
get
but but I see what Steve said. Pris is your friend, not your gay friend, and that is true.
right.
He is my
Mm-hmm.
friend. And to the people who are watching our shows, if you think that we are serious with the whole, oh, he's my diversity shield, or
Mm-hmm.
he's my LGBT shield, my LGBT card, or when I joke about Fenrir,
Mhm.
he's my black shield and all that, or my
Mm-hmm.
other friends, like Diego and Pablo from Midnight's Edge Espanol. When we we joke around, you know, when we had a whole stream talking about Latinx and joking around. And I said on the stream, we have a clip on it on YouTube, and I say, you have to then you have to, you know, learn me some Latinx language. If you take that old stuff serious, there's something really fucking wrong with you. You have to learn to understand a fucking joke. We are joking with each other. It's like I have a lot of jokes against me too. It's like I love black metal. What's the joke I normally hear? Oh, Jacen loves to, you know, burn Bibles. He likes to burn churches. You know, he's so dark that I'm like, and I'm on the joke. And I'm like, hell yeah, you know, praise Satan. And, you know, I'm joking with it. I have fun too with it. And it's all a fucking joke. I know they're not serious. And if you think I burn churches and Bibles, there's something really fucked up in your head, because I don't do that.
Real
like
quick, I do want to acknowledge something in the chat.
All right, put the money in the bag. I'll buy that for $1.
Exactly.
There, Orman Tagge with a 3-month member chat says, it's been 3 long months. Fire, film, and Kraken. Star Trek 5 stinks. And speaking of members, you too can become a member of PACIFIC414 by joining the Stealth is Optional tier for only $4.99 a month, where you, as a member, guide the discussion. Member streams are not like Pop Talk. It is all through the power of you. You are the one who choose the topic that we talk about. And we pretty much have talked about practically everything.
Pretty much me, because, you know.
And I know people have to learn to take a joke. And, you know, I grew up in Norway. And, God, if you guys ever saw what we used to have back also in Norway of TV shows, and, oh, God, these days that would be like, oh, that is fucking racist. You know, we, in shows, a lot of the shows used the N-word so many times. Nobody in Norway cared. The people of color and the black people, they didn't care. They laughed at it. They thought it was funny when they saw this on shows. We had one of our greatest actors of all time, Robert Stoltenberg. He played, you know, Indian guys and Muslim guys and all that. And he's a white guy. And people freaked out when he was gay. And people like, he's gay in real life? Oh my God. Yeah,
cancel him, damn it! Cancel him. Oh, wait a moment.
Yeah,
and Jacen, he's bi. Cancel him too. That's it. Bye. You're out of here. No, I'm kidding.
But you know, people found out he was gay, and I'm just like, he never forced anything of his characters to be gay. He's the writer of the show. He's the one who did the show. Yes, he has a gay character, but it was a comedy gay character. He never pushed himself to be the character.
Right.
And it's just like, we all knew he was gay either before he came out. We all knew it. He never did really hide it. Nobody cared, other than the fun thing. The people that didn't care about him being gay, you know, people like me, normal people, you know, a lot of us, we didn't care. But then you have the LGBTQ. Oh my God, he's gay. What the fuck's going on? I'm like, come on, dude. Come on.
Well, that's like Liberace. Everybody knew he was light in the loafers, but boy, the women still loved him. I mean, if that goes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't care. We didn't care if we had some Paul Lynn. People knew Paul Lynn, you know, leaned that way.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with, you know,
the one problem that he had was he was just an asshole, especially when he drank.
Yeah, exactly.
And he happened to be gay.
Yeah, and with Robert Stoltenberg is also the characters he did, you know, back in the day, no people, you know, people from India and Muslims and all that, they never thought what he did was racist. They never thought it was racist because they know what he does. He's a comedian. He also makes a lot of different characters. He plays all the characters. He even plays women characters in the show. And, you know, he's playing so many different characters, and it is just fun. All the characters are funny, and the show were just so fucking amazing. But now, you know, the woke people are trying to cancel him. Hey, you're trying to cancel someone in your fucking group for actually being a comedian. But no,
because they're hypocrites.
Yes, exactly. And it's just
again, they can't make fun of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, he made fun of himself being gay. Dude, one of his most favorite characters in the show. He made, a little side thing on another show. They brought back one of his biggest characters in the show, and he made a joke that, he is Robert Stoltenberg, but he's playing, he plays Robert Stoltenberg. So he is the character from TV, but
Mhm.
he pretends that he's playing Robert Stoltenberg to be a celebrity and stuff. And he's just like, why did I he basically said like, why did I have to make my character gay? Fucking hell, man. Like, he joked about being, he didn't want to be gay, and he joked about it is funny. He jokes about himself. It is an amazing, it's
Well,
just fun, but
well, I mean, and that's the funny thing, like you're sitting back saying, I would say until the early part of the 21st century here,
yeah.
the N-word lost a lot of its power. And everyone,
Yeah.
And of course, you hear it obviously in urban troubadour music and such all the time. But
Yeah.
everyone took a joke. Everyone knew they were getting desensitized off of it. And it was being used as actually a lot of times mockery of that word. And when we were growing up, oh my God, I'm not saying I lived in the most diverse neighborhood, but we had Asians, we had blacks. That was
Yeah.
that was in a
And
private
everything.
right. And we called each other everything, and we never took offense to it.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
if we would take people from now and went back then and saw how we
If
acted
some,
towards each
you
other,
know, if
they'd
someone
know.
calls me snowflake or a cracker or something like that, I'm like, yeah, man, I know I'm so fucking white, bro. I'm so white that you can't see me in the light.
Well,
I
I mean,
joke about it all the time.
it comes to the point that when somebody starts saying that, "Oh, you're an ethnophobe," it's like, yeah, so.
Yeah,
I mean, when you throw
exactly.
that back at them, and it's not like you're, really are that way, but if you throw that back at them, they kind of start losing their ammunition.
Well, that's the thing, Baron. You bring up the fact that you take anybody from now back 30, 40 years ago, they wouldn't be able to survive.
Mm.
Yet
No.
you, I, and Jason, most of the chat, go back 30, 40 years. We know exactly what to do.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And no, just learn to take a fucking joke is all I have to say.
Right.
That's what I do.
In other words, what we're all trying to tell anybody who can't take a joke
I just need to
out
refresh
there,
StreamYard again.
Okay.
go ahead. I'm gonna find the clip and I'm gonna play it. Basically,
Yeah.
what we're trying to tell everybody is
Lighten up, Francis.
Well, I mean, we come from a time, Cash came from a time where it was correct to run down the street in your red underwear with the 9 iron.
we're in a cape yelling,
Yeah,
Sin!
I
Shane,
am
yeah.
the chin. My +2 9 iron of smiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I know, but no, other stuff too. We talked about a channel and stuff like that, and what I think is also really important with our your guys' channel and a lot of other people out there too, mine and others, is that there is a culture war when it comes pop culture war. It really is there, and it's been that for many years. Disney bought Star Wars, they bought Marvel, and we saw all the changes even back then. So it's always been this fight, us versus them, and we never wanted, we are geeks. We don't want a pop culture war. We don't want that fucking shit. All we want is, we want to be geeks. We want to go back when we could debate each other, when we disagreed, when was this and that, and we didn't get called, you're a fucking racist or a homophobe just because we disagreed on a character, but it is a war, and we have to fight because we can't just sit there and take the shit either. If we just sit there and take the shit, and a lot of us did that for a while before a lot of more people came out to talk about it. We just sit here and it's like, are we gonna talk about it? Are we like gonna do something about it? Are we actually gonna fight back? Yeah, but we do. It's a pop culture war, and but when you are gonna fight the war too, you have to be smart about it. You don't want to become what you hate.
Exactly.
And that's a problem I've been seeing with, a lot. I'm not gonna say, of course, I'm not naming YouTubers or streamers or whatever, but that is the problem I've been seeing after a couple of years.
And
Hey, I told you I'm
we've
trying to
seen
get
it.
better
We've
at
seen
it,
it.
Chase. Come
We've
on.
seen it too. Last Sunday, Barrett and I we're excited about the remaster of Dark Forces, but there are some people who aren't.
Yeah, like me, I don't
Mhm.
think it's necessary to do a remaster, but I also think it can be cool to do a remaster.
Mhm.
It is just I know so much problems that can happen with a remastered version. I
Mhm.
played different remastered games, and there are stuff that they forget to fix, and it's coloring, it's cutscenes, it's certain stuff that they forget to do sometimes. But it's gonna be fun. I hope they're gonna do a proper job with the remastered
Well,
version.
I saw
But
I saw those
I-
preview movies.
I-
They look good.
Yeah. What they're basically doing is they're upscaling the graphics.
yeah,
Mhm.
I know, and no, so I'm 50-50 on it. If they do a good job, I will
Yeah.
praise it. I will say this is good. If there's stuff that I need to criticize, I will criticize it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, same
I'm still
here.
excited. Yeah, and I'm excited that people, new people get to play, more of an upgraded version of the game. I think that's gonna be fun for a lot of people.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't know how much I played the hell out of that game when I
Same
got
here,
it.
man.
I
Same
mean,
here.
I
Jet
played that
Academy
game.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really did the sequels. I need to do those, but
Yeah,
that
no, I
first
get
one,
you.
though, that I worked. I played that first one until my fingers bled. Not being
Yeah.
exaggerating there, but so I mean, I know that game
Yeah,
in and out. And
exactly.
that's why I'm excited for this. Like, if you
Exactly.
keep it true to the source, maybe do a little changes in some stuff for the gameplay that make a little bit more sense, and of
Yeah.
course, the good graphics.
Yeah, no, I get you.
You
I
know,
get you. I agree with
I'm
that
the
one. And
I'm a big fan of taking stuff and updating it for the system, not the
yeah.
society.
Yes,
And the system
exactly.
I mean is the
And
computer.
yeah. But no, it's been after being on YouTube for so many years, even before, starting, the YouTube channel. And I sit there, I've been watching so much. And yes, I'm younger than a lot of people too when it comes to, other shit. I'm 28 years old, but with
Same.
everything I've done in my life and everything that I work with, it sounds like I'm so much older. But I see the change, I see the change with a lot of content creators that I grew up watching. I see how they have changed,
Yeah.
when I go back to see their old stuff, I'm like, this is who you guys are. You actually stood for something. You're actually fighting for something. You're actually fighting this war, but you're doing it smart. You're not like the bad guys, as we call them. You're not like the wokey pokies. You're not like Disney.
Right.
You're doing it
Yep.
your own way, like we do. Yes, we will be hard about it. We will be harsh about it and say our opinions, even if it sounds really fucking cruel. But I see a lot of them changing and getting more into the whole, oh, they want to get paid, they want to do this, you have to do. One thing I will always be honest about this. If you are a YouTuber and you make your video streams, you make your streams all pay, after you've been streaming and you want them to pay to watch your stream. I don't like that shit. I think
No.
that is a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
You want your content to be watched, but you are tricking your audience to pay for our subscription to actually watch your streams. I don't think that is okay, because that is tricking your audience. That I will say this: you are just as Disney. You're just as these big pharmas. You're just like this. You want the money. You care about the money more than your audience. I don't like that. It's like, if we ever get monetized on the 540, I will never, ever have the streams to like, oh, you have to pay to watch them. Fuck no. I might do member streams for people, maybe once in once a month, maybe once a
Yeah.
month I will have a member stream for people. But the thing, I will make it public later on. The first thing I will do is that everyone who has a paid membership can join the panel, and we're going to have a conversation here. But after all that, I'm going to make it, just wait a couple of days, and then I'm going to make it official to the whole audience, and you don't need to pay for it. But I want everyone to see what the audience have to say. I don't want to hide what the audience have to say, but
Yep.
you see this. A lot of YouTubers they are changing to become the problem themselves.
Right.
That's that is a big problem, and they don't really fight the real fight anymore. They are
No.
just there because they're
They
famous.
regurgitate the same news that someone else has already talked about over and over again. They might throw their own little twist on it, but it's still the same news over and over. And Jet Sparks, guess what? With the Dark Forces remaster, they're not changing the story. They're leaving it as it was.
As is.
They're leaving it as it was.
And see, that's the one thing we asked Disney to do is, yeah, you got your canon going out there. Don't abandon the old one. You can still keep it going. Anytime they put something out that was EU, and yeah, I'll call it EU, not Legends.
Yeah, it's EU, Expanded Universe.
Right. Like the issue 109 of the Marvel comic, supposedly, bringing the end of the original Marvel comic. That went through the roofs.
Yeah, and I also...
When you had a bootleg book on Amazon with no advertising, taking every Star Wars canon book except for Timothy Zahn's one of his Thrawn novels.
Yeah, exactly. And
word of mouth.
Yeah, of course. And
now game, if this game is successful, that's true, Hunty. Yeah.
And I also want to mention that this is also a trend that I've been seeing in a couple of years on YouTube, is that certain content creators have to learn to handle criticism. That is something that annoys the crap out of me, that a lot of content creators can't handle criticism. And what do they do when they get criticism? They go on YouTube, complain about it. They are talking about a certain person just because, oh, I didn't like the show. We use this, for example. Oh, I didn't like the show. Okay. You have one viewer, another content creator who didn't like the show. Doesn't mean he hates you or she hates you. Doesn't mean they're hating. It's okay to be critical. If they didn't enjoy it, it's fine to be critical. But if you're going to be so fucking butthurt about some criticism, why the fuck are you on YouTube?
Right.
You have to fucking man up with criticism. Like I said, I love criticism. It's part of the fucking game. It is part of it. If we do something that some people think is wrong, if I have an opinion that let's see here, if I have an opinion, you don't agree with it, and you have some criticism, I will take the criticism. If you think I should be better, if you didn't agree with this, fuck yeah, give me the fucking criticism. I'm not gonna call you out for it. I'm not gonna go on YouTube and like, oh, this motherfucker right here, criticized me and I feel so blah 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 blah. Come on my channel and fight me. No, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna if it.
You're not gonna make a video going, Cash Money criticized my last video criticizing Andor. Well, guess what, Cash Money?
Yeah, exactly.
Take it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
If someone tweeted about, something I said and all that, and they don't agree, I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, I love your take on it, and if you wanna, explain your take on it and how you feel about it, I'm happy to listen. I'm nothing against you. I love the criticism, even if it's hard criticism.
Well, I think the important part is if it's true criticism, is like, oh, I didn't like this. Okay, the big question is, okay, why? And not asking in a mean way either, but it's like, okay, why? What did you see? And then you can expound what you were trying to do, or maybe, oh, you know what, that person is right, or you can agree to disagree, or come to a middle ground going, yeah, if I change a little bit like this, it'll probably work better. But I can't do the full thing because that's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my criticisms about this third season of Picard is too many member bearers.
That's all.
Hey, you remember the Enterprise D? You remember Moriarty? You remember Data?
You remember?
And then another criticism is the over-reliance on the Borg.
Yeah, and too many member bearers at once. It's a red flag for me. You can do small member bearers here and there sometimes, but you have to write it properly. You really have to go through, will this work? Will this
Right.
not work? It's really important to think about that. But when you have
Well,
too many member berries in one fucking season, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's what they're doing with Rick and Morty right now. Every new
mhm,
episode now is just member berries, member berries. Like the show
right.
is not even that old. Why the fuck are you
Well,
doing member
well,
berries,
that's
dude?
just it. If you're taking a nod from the old show and keeping it, okay, it's natural. This is what
Mhm.
happens in the universe, and they did that in the old show. We're keeping a continuity. Or
Yeah.
we're going to do a little nod here or there, maybe one little nod here or whatever, but that's just it, one or
Mhm.
two. When you sit down and you see the reviews and they're saying, oh, we found 54, 68,
Yeah, exactly.
79 references or they want to call them Easter eggs. No, if you have that many, it's not an Easter egg, that's a member berry. An Easter egg is like one or two
Mhm.
Yep.
things in
Exactly.
there. Are the fact
Exactly.
that you can sit back and say, hey, they kept the continuity. They kept this built, they built it this way because that's how it was. And it is part of the story.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so that's the big takeoff of that. We got I mean, even they at the bottom cap, and they got that, and of course they had the nod back. One of the stupidest things, they had the nod back to Star Trek 4 and Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, and they steal an ancient cloaking device from that bird of prey to put on the Titan. And it's like,
Yeah.
excuse me, wait a moment. You got the Defiant there. A newer ship, newer cloaking device. It is Romulan. Why don't you just steal that ship?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course,
it's a tough little ship. Little.
right. Yeah. And see, that's just it. They don't have that. Obviously, I know everyone wants to say it about Metalis was the name, about
Yeah,
being such
Terry
a big
Metalis.
Star Trek writer, knows his shit. Well, if he knows his shit, if he really wanted the member berry back, member berry to DS9 with the
Exactly.
Defiant.
Exactly.
And then
No, I
there you
agree
go.
with
Now you're getting everybody in there. You're getting all the Star Trek series represented in some fashion.
And so those ships that they had at the Starfleet Museum should still be in service, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Because they're not that old.
No. Like the Defiant.
And we know how long Starfleet vessels are in service in the Star Trek universe.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
And it does
And
make sense. It's a good
just
design.
respect the source material. Respect what came before.
Right.
Give love, respect, and don't push your own fucking agendas into
Right.
shows and movies and stuff like that. Peter Jackson, that's what he was all about. He's not going to push anything of his politics
Right.
or views on Lord of the Rings. He was going to respect Tolkien, and that's what he did, and that's what you fucking should do. If
Right.
I ever gonna do a project, with a legacy story, if it was Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or something else, the Badger for Mike Barron or something, I'm gonna respect their creation. Yeah, I
Right.
might need to change certain stuff in the story just to make it more believable to the movie, the animated, whatever I'm making, but I'm still gonna keep it to the source material, give respect. I'm not going to change the main character to a gay guy or a woman or
Right.
anything. It's like, I'm going to keep the character the way it is, who or she is. I'm going to keep it that way.
Right.
And respect it.
The big changes that need to be done is the actual translation over from one medium to the other.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
sometimes it wouldn't work. So okay, now I got to translate this and do that. And
Exactly. It's like if I ever gonna, if I'm gonna do a lot of the ring stuff and I'm gonna cast Gandalf, I'm not gonna cast, a black guy to play Gandalf. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, let me
And
ask you this question, Jace. When it comes to movies and TV shows, what does that medium have to have in order for it to grab you? What does a TV show have to have? What does a movie have to have in order for you to give it your attention?
a story, a well-written story doesn't always need to be the best story, but a story that can entertain me, a story that will hail to Killishow, hail to you, brothers.
Roll
Always
Tide,
good to see you,
Killishow,
man.
Roll
Roll
Tide.
Tide.
A good guy, good guy.
Yes, he is.
I have talked with him a little bit, private. Really good guy, dude. Really fun guy. But
He's a
it has to
mushroom?
have a but it has to have, a decent story that can entertain me. Of course, that's a lot of us we want. We want an escapism story, a story that will drag us into this. Oh my god, this is fun. Like this is interesting. I want to learn more about this character. I want to learn about their story. What's gonna happen? Um, and of course, it's not just a story for me. It's also how you pace it, how you film it, the effects that you're doing. If you're gonna use CGI, you have to use CGI the right way to enhance, to help out the things around it. What they did with the prequels. You had a lot of practical effects in the prequels. A lot of people fucking forget that and say, "Oh, it was never practical effects in that movie, those movies. It's only No, it's a lot of practical effects, but
Yeah.
CGI was there to enhance it. And if you
Mhm.
do it the right way, I'm all good for it. But everything from filming, pacing, do they respect the characters? Depends on what show it is, of course,
Right.
um but I focus on, a lot with the story, a lot with the editing, a lot with the pacing, CGI, practical. I focus on so many things when I watch a thing. It's so much that I focus on. I am a hardcore critic to a lot of things. I always hear this that I hate so many things, but that's because I am really critical of
Wait.
stuff.
Don't you?
I
Yeah,
accuse him
yeah,
of that all the time. It's like Jake doesn't like anything. He's like Mikey. He won't eat it. He
yeah,
doesn't like anything. Yeah.
and it has to
And
be a
I do want to say
consistent.
hello to TKO, also known as DDOD or
Mm.
Pit Viper, or also Chaos,
Yeah.
depending on how you know him.
Yeah, and I feel it has to have a consistent story. It has to have a real consistent story, not a story that is like everywhere. You don't know really where it is. Just suddenly we are here and this, but this happened before. What's going on now? Just what the fuck is this plot hole? What are you doing now? You have to stay consistent, and yeah, you have you have good shows like Power Rangers and other stuff like Hero of the Week, but when you think about with Power Rangers in a way too, we still have story. There's still consistent story with the main characters. They're still building on that, even if you have random episodes with the villain of the week and all that. But they're still, consistent with the characters. They're still growing. It's a new storyline with them. You learn some of their backstory. There's a lot of stuff like that. It has to have some consistency to like, why shall I care about this? Don't just do a random thing. We have a lot of shows that's just like, oh, one episode is this, and they're gonna continue in other episodes, and it's just like they're gonna quote unquote continue the episode, but it's like everywhere. Suddenly the character acts different, and it's just like, well, that's not what the character is about. We have a good example with, I used to love the TV show Dexter, right, with the
Oh yeah.
Ginger the Killer,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
The New Blood, Dexter New Blood, they destroy the character completely 100%. Yes, the
Mhm.
old season, not all seasons back in the time were good, but they were still entertaining. It still had consistency to a lot of things.
Right.
But the new Dexter New Blood, they changed the character at the end. Yes, he has a son and all that, but he went out of his character. He's not the same character anymore. He became clueless. Like he would have never have done this. He would have never done that. And at the end, he just gets himself killed by his son. I'm like, he would never have done that. Even if he has a fucking son, he doesn't have feelings. Where's the consistency to the character? He is a sociopath. He always have been. But
Right.
there's so many things in that show that just doesn't make sense, and it's just like all over the place. It's like that is not consistency to the character. But that's where you have to be really careful. You have to have some consistency to the character. You need to have the story well written there. It's like Power Ranger, old Star Wars, a lot of good old Marvel comics and DC comics that they focus on, a lot of story and build up the stories and all that. And it's really important to have it consistency in the character. So that really drags me into movies or series. Is you need consistency to the characters, and
Exactly. And you were on the Power Rangers edition of Pop Talk that I had back in April. And
yeah,
you know, what is it about Power Rangers that even to this day you can still sit down and watch it,
the
regardless
characters.
of what iteration it is?
Yeah, no, for me, just skip the modern version of Power Rangers because they've tried to become Marvel with that. Don't watch that. But when it gets to the old stuff, um, it is, the casting, the characters. The thing with Power Rangers and a lot of these characters, you have the sad stories, you have character development, you have the funny, goofy things that is based on a lot of Japanese comedy. You have like everything, the dark stories, the funny stuff, consistency to the characters, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and you have the whole Sordon world until Sordon dies. I know I mispronounced it a little bit. I'm Norwegian, don't blame me.
I
uh,
do. I do.
but it's a lot of consistency to the characters. We have Jason David Frank, aka Tommy Oliver. Um, and yeah, I know about the X-Men films, even though I love the X-Men films 1, 2, and 3. I know the last movie is not comic accurate, with the Phoenix. I've always gonna say this: I don't fucking care. I still love that movie. I don't care about your opinion. Yes, I love the Dark Phoenix comic and all that. I love that concept. But for this world that we saw in the movies, it worked fine, in my opinion. It could have been a better movie, but I still fucking liked it. The consistency with those 3 movies were pretty fucking decent. Wolverine Origins, yeah, nobody likes that. I like aspects of it. There's stuff I like in it. And the change they did that I loved, Sabretooth and Wolverine should have always been brothers. I always hated that in comics, that they were not brothers. It just felt like Magneto and Professor X all over again. It made sense that they were brothers. The powers, the chemistry, it just makes sense. I love that change in the movies. And remember, when people get to the whole fucking First Class, remember, First Class is not canon to the original fucking movies. First Class was supposed to be a fucking reboot, a remake, a different storyline. The only reason why people got confused was because of Wolverine. And remember, it is the Wolverine we know, but it's a different universe. They had to have cameo of Wolverine. I don't think they needed it, but they did it for the safe sides. And I also know that they had, comic tie-ins and also games. You didn't really need to read or play these things to understand the movies. You didn't. That was all, you could choose yourself. First Class was fun. I had my gripes with it, but I think it's one of the best movies. I just hate that it changed, to Mystique, to Alex Summers. No, 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 no. It should have been, Cyclops, Jean Grey in the start and the beginning, not Alex Summers, because Alex Summers, Havok is the younger brother of Scott. So that whole thing did not make sense to me, but I had my gripes. And of course, they killed, remember the guy who always survives. He can adapt to all powers, how to survive, the black guy. And in the comics, too, it's really hard to kill him because he can adapt to survive. Really stupid that it killed him off. So I have certain gripes with it. But I had a whole theory with the whole fucking movie franchise back in the. I wrote a whole thing as a young child how the movies worked, and the fun thing later on, Bryan Singer, they came out with exactly what I said after they came with Days of Future Past and how the connected universes and all works. Even though I know certain stuff like timeline with the years and stuff doesn't quite 100% make sense. But just remember, the 3 first movies are not canon to a lot of the other movies. Days of Future happened. A lot of stuff get changed, and it is okay. They should have been more consistent with a lot of stuff, but still, I think those movies are a million times better than fucking MCU, whatever you want to call it. The Dark Phoenix wasn't great. I like certain aspect of the Dark Phoenix movie, but I like the original plan for the movie. The original plan for Dark Phoenix was 2 movies, and you had the scrolls. But because of Disney buying Fox, that got changed. Everything got changed, and they had, 1 movie. They changed a lot of stuff. Did not fucking work with a lot of stuff, but the fun thing, the aliens they used in Dark Phoenix acted more like Skrulls than the Skrulls in the MCU. I'm like, yeah. So there are stuff they should have, they should have just gone with the original, but Disney fucked that up. The New Mutants movie, I really enjoyed the New Mutants movie. And yes, we have lesbian kiss in it. Oh, we have some stuff. I didn't care. It wasn't pushed in the movie. It just felt natural with the characters. It just felt natural. It was like, oh, she's gonna be gay. No. It just came natural in the movie, and it was just like, okay, I'm not, I'm not angry about it.
Isn't that how it should be? Just come naturally instead of being
Yes.
pushed upon you
Yeah.
over and over again.
Exactly. And I really liked that. And we were supposed to get 2 more fucking movies of New Mutants. I was interested to see what they were gonna do because the New Mutants connected with Logan. And that was the fun part about it. When you watch the New Mutants, you have some clips from Logan of the fucking, when they have the kids and when they torture those kids and, when they cloned, when they created Laura, X-23 and all that, it connected to the Logan stuff. And I'm like, that is cool. They connected to Logan, and we know they were supposed to do a continuation with Logan, with Laura. That was the plan with James Mangold. He had written and planned out the story there, and I'm like, dude, we have a fantastic female character, Laura, X-23, who's one of the most badass characters, who actually came in Evolutions first and then, came to the comics. And her original fucking story is sad as fuck. The way she was treated, the way she was abused in so many levels. And when she killed basically her mother, who was the one who gave birth to her when they cloned her, and that motherfucker, put that that sense in her hair, and that sense, that thing that they're using makes mutants go evil. All the powers, all the anger in you will turn, and when that happens, and she kills the only woman, the only person, the mother figure that loved her more than anyone in the world, she killed her because of that fucking sense to make the power go, and make you lose control because of that shit. It's a really sad story, really well written, and I would have loved to see that on screen. I would have loved to continue with Laura, but unfortunately Disney. And just I see that Pat wannabe. It just bugs me they use Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in new stuff. Still couldn't figure the X-Men in. Blah blah blah. I understand that, and I will always say what I hate with modern fucking comics, when it comes to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, I hate the retcons on the retcons on the retcons they've done with the characters, because they are not the kids of Magneto, and they changed that whole thing, and they're like, enhanced humans, and it's like they are a project of something weird shit. And they teased that they were first mutants and Inhumans, and then they're not really any of I don't know what the fuck they really did with the comics there. Baron, I know you have read a lot of comics too, but it was so messy what they did with Quicksilver.
Well, wasn't a Marvel guy, so I didn't play around with the X-Men as much. I was a DC guy.
No. Yeah, but it was just so messed up. Guy. Yeah. No,
but there was so messed. I know there was some stuff that was messed up and all that stuff, and I felt
and it pissed me off. But I will always say Magneto is the father to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. That's how it's always gonna be, no matter what the fuck the modern comics are doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think the one thing that we look at here is that, of course, what we've learned so far on the show here is that Jacen Fawkes wants to be the next Stan Lee. But besides that, the one thing that we're all
there's nothing wrong with him wanting to be the next Stan Lee. I mean, that's
I'm
a good road to travel. I'm rooting for it too.
I got some ideas I'd like to pass by you, in fact. But on more of a note on this, the one thing that we are all accused of here, besides being ists and phobes, is that we don't like change, which is not the case. We've always liked change. We want to see our characters grow. We want to see them, but we want them to do it within the parameters of that universe.
You know,
Yes, and you need to
we don't
respect
like
the lore that came
unnecessary
before.
change. Is what we
Yes.
don't like.
It's
Mhm.
like you can change certain aspects of a character, but you have to still respect what
Right.
came before. You can change
Mhm.
some stuff in the story, like there's a plot twist that happened there. It's like you have to make it make sense. It
Mhm.
have to make sense. So again, what they did with Quicksilver Skull, which made no fucking sense. It made
Right.
no sense. If you want to change certain aspect there, well, you
Mhm.
have to write it really well. It has to make sense, but you already have established lore that has gone through years and years and years since the old
Mhm.
age of comics. You
Right.
can't just take that and do an unnecessary change because you want to use them in the movies. That's one of the things also.
Well,
They changed so much about those characters so they can use them in the MCU. And they removed Magneto, they removed this, and it's like it was so ridiculous.
well, then you got the worst thing. I want my representation.
Yes.
I want my representation in there. And
Yeah.
all you have to do is look at I Am Dumpster Fire. I mean, obviously that was what's her name's representing herself in that universe because even the
Yes.
character looked like her.
Yeah,
And
with
it's like,
self-inserts and all that, you not do self-inserts
no,
in comics or movies or like Disney Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy is a fucking every character they do is a fucking self-insert of her.
right.
But
Make her gay and lame.
exactly, but don't do self-inserts. If you want to make a fucking story that is similar to you, make a story that is not established in a certain fucking IP. Make your own fucking thing. Make a real life experience. Do like Eminem. Do like 50 Cent when they made a movie. When they made movies that was based on their life, do that instead. Because that's, they try to do a factional, real world movie of stuff that happened to them. Do
Here we
that
go,
instead.
folks. This is what it is,
You might
folks.
think everything is okay, but Disney is gonna get you. Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get you. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.
But no, then you're gonna do it in that, not do a self-insert like that,
Right.
like what they've done with comics and other stuff. But if you want to do more of a movie or a book that is more based on your life, well, then you need to make your own stuff, your own thing, and use your life experience. Like I said again, like Eminem, like 50 Cent, like they did. You can do that then, but that's a completely different
But
thing
one
than.
of the things that
Well-
we're running into is that a lot of writers nowadays can't put their own life experience into a movie or a television show because they don't have much life experience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And now
Right.
they want to do
But they'll tell you
self-insert.
otherwise.
Yes, and what they do, they make the character looks like themselves. They use their own fucking sexuality, and it's all gonna be about them, and it's just like we have the whole situation with Mags, aka with Superboy, and we have that whole situation that the Mags person wants make Superboy trans and all that, and change the name and all that. I'm like, no. That's an established character you're not gonna fuck with. And you come with all these fucking stupid things. And I will say again, it's a little bit of a lie that it wasn't green-litted. Max did get her will to do some stuff in a news comic when she released it. When this person released it, they used the name Connie. They have the whole that, Superboy is confused. He's more into the LGBT fucking shit and all that kind of stuff. Max did it, and now she's working with Zack Snyder on Rebel Moon comics and Baxter. No, we know what kind of story. She's doing self-inserts. She doesn't know how to write and all that kind of stuff. It is messed up.
What about?
We,
And yes, I'm
I was
still
gonna-
blocked by Tim
Yeah,
Sheridan.
by Tim.
Yeah, I am too. I finally
blood.
did it because I did my eye roll at him. Eye roll gift did it for me,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of that. Well, I just
Yeah.
I just want to say, remember the day when the self inserts were done, especially in comics, where the artist would in the background just draw in himself and the guy who did the writing. And it was just whatever. Or sometimes they'd break that fourth wall and put themselves in a comic explaining something, and usually in a humorous way. That was the self inserts.
Look at Stan Lee when he was in comics. It was always like a little fun thing they did. He did. Getting saved by
Right.
Spider-Man. He's with Spider-Man.
Right.
It was just fun. It was
Yeah,
like they're not part of the story, but it's just a little fun. A little fun thing to do, and just like that is
Right.
okay. That is pretty fucking cool.
It is.
But when you do a but when you're gonna, I will never do a self-insert when I do stories. Like all the characters I have created through the years, I've never based any of those characters on me. Never
Mhm.
based them on
No,
me.
because you end up doing that, then you immediately date your movie or television show
Mm,
or your book or whatever it is
mm,
that you put the self insert in. I mean, well, let's look at Dungeons and Dragons.
Mhm.
yeah.
Recently,
Oh God!
one of the people
You want my
working
blood
at
pressure to go
Wizards of
up?
the Coast put a self insert because this
Yeah.
person is deaf and autistic. They created a
Mm-hmm.
character who's deaf and autistic.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like,
Right.
no, when I create characters, I want to create something that I cannot really relate to. I want to create something that people would think is cool. I want to create a unique story that can intrigue people, and I don't want to be the character I'm writing. I just want to write a
No.
character that can inspire, people, and is a good hero, or if it's a dark story. Never doing any self-insert. I'm not gonna base it on, my experience of life and all that. I wanna do something completely different that is an escapism. And it's like one of my favorite characters that I've ever created in a comic. And this is from a comic that I want to do. It is a superhero comic. One of my favorite characters that I created. Yes, he's a vegetarian, and that's a funny thing. People are like, why did you make him vegetarian? Because it felt right for the story. I never planned
Mhm.
him to be a fucking vegetarian. I was like, yes, I'm like, no. It was like, I'm not gonna make him vegetarian just because people are vegan and vegetarian now.
Right.
But it just felt right for his story and how he is. And I will never tell you in my story that he's a vegetarian. When you're like looking at the comic strip and you see when it's drawn,
Right.
just look what he eats. Just look what he's eating. Just follow
Right.
the story. When he picks food, what does he eat? No, follow the fucking story. He's never gonna say,
Well,
oh, I'm vegetarian, I'm not gonna eat meat. No, no, no. You just see he
well,
takes a plate, put some food on it, and it's okay. It's no
mhm.
no meat on it. Okay,
Well, it's
that's
just
how it
like
is.
everyone. It's just like Spock in Star Trek. Vulcans are vegetarians, but they
Yeah.
they don't. What would you say? Focus on that. It's just it's just part of what the character building, the race building, all that is for Vulcans and Spock himself. It's
Yes,
not to
exactly.
promote anything. It's not
No,
to
it's
virtual
just when
thing.
it feels
Because back in
right.
that day, back in that
It's
day,
just when
that wasn't a thing.
yeah, it's just if it feels right to the character, feels right to the character. And that's what I did with my main character. And also, one of my main characters, the character I like the most of my comic stories. This is my absolutely favorite character I ever created, but he fucking dies in my story. Yes, a spoiler, but I'm not afraid to say that. But he dies in the story, and the reason he dies, it has a purpose. I'm not gonna say how he dies, but it has a purpose. But he's never coming back. He's never coming back to the
Hmm.
story. He's dead forever.
Right.
All my characters who dies, they're dead. They're always gonna
Yeah.
be dead, never gonna come back. Consistency with my characters. The death has
Right.
impact. You will never see them in
Hmm.
future comics. The only time you might see certain characters, a flashback or a
Right.
memory, talking
Hmm.
or pictures. They have
Hmm.
pictures in the school or the home with him or her.
Our
That's the only
dream.
times yeah, and you will not have multiverses. Oh, because this character is super popular, I'm gonna make a new universe where he's alive. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No.
If I have people on my team who's gonna create this comic universe with me, and they're like, "Oh, this character is so popular. This is the bestseller. We need to put him
No.
back or her back into a comic." I'm like, "Fuck no!
Hmm. I
This
mean,
character's not coming back."
yeah. I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, kill them. And
Yes.
YouTube, we're talking about stories. We're not talking about real
Yeah.
life. I think one
Yeah.
of the things that really hampered and hurt Star Trek is the fact that they brought Spock back.
Yes.
I mean, you go through and you see the emotional roller coaster that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan was. Of course, they're
Mm.
expecting that to be the last movie, anyways.
Hmm.
I mean, Spock's death was something. It was a big, huge
Yes.
sacrifice. And it was a noble way for the character to go out, and they had somebody waiting in the wings to take over. The worst
Yeah.
thing was actually bringing him back from the
And it
dead.
had a consistent impact to everything.
Mhm.
And that is what is really important. And that's why I hate when they bring back in comics and movies, they just bring back the character because, oh, this is a popular character,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. It's like, I always criticize, even though I love Star Wars, but I will always criticize George Lucas with bringing back, Maul, bringing him
Yeah,
back was a big fucking mistake.
it
I don't
was.
think that, yeah, because you destroy the whole impact in the impactful death of Qui-Gon Jinn and the whole scene there. This had a hardcore impact plot. The plot there. Qui-Gon dies. Obi-Wan,
Mhm.
He almost taps into the dark side a little bit when you see that fucking scene. He actually gets mad. His feelings is, he shows
Mhm.
feelings. And a Jedi are supposed to, be, controlled by their feelings.
Mhm.
And
Right.
but you have actually Obi-Wan going a little darker. He gets mad,
Mhm.
and the whole impactful death. When you revived Maul again, you
Right.
destroyed that for me. It's just like, no. The whole impact of the whole Anakin this and that,
Mhm.
no, you aren't destroying the impactful moment that
Yeah.
I cried for when I was a child. I cried at that scene. Bringing back Maul, big
Yeah.
mistake. Let character actually be dead. It's like,
Well, I think when he realized he had a great character and he wasted it. So, hey, what could he do to bring him back? And how he was
yeah,
going to be
and
integral to the sequel trilogy. His plans were being one of the villains in there. But it's like, he had a
never
death.
confirmed though. It was never
Yeah.
confirmed by him. That was just another person who quote unquote worked with him and
Mhm.
claimed that this was his sequel plans. But if you listen to George Lucas, he had a lot of fucking plans. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that plan before he actually says it himself.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, that's the one thing about George Lucas. I don't mean to be mean to George. I really don't, because I do admire
Yeah.
him so much. He gave me so many wonderful moments growing up with Star
Mm.
Wars and such. Even American Graffiti, stuff that's not even
Oh
related to
yeah,
Star
American
Wars.
Graffiti, yes.
But he is very inconsistent in what he says. Like he said, I only meant to have 6 films, not 9. After many years saying he had 9, and then he say, "Well, I meant to do this," and then he backs up on that. And it's like, "Oh, I never said that," but yeah, you did do that. To say that, and I
Yeah.
understand. You got your
But
notes. You have
the
everything.
last
You have
thing,
your notes. You have everything planned, and as you go along with your
yeah.
notes, obviously, okay, this is the plan. But there's got to be changes to get to that plan. I
Yeah,
understand.
and some of the last things he said, the last things he said before everything got sold off, is, you have the family, and everything from Mara and Jaina and Jacen and all that. He talked about the whole family tree, and that that is the way he wanted to go. That was some of the last things he's also said about his plans, and but unfortunately, we will never know what his plans really was. We will never know what it really was.
I mean, I have
Um,
to be, I have to go. I don't think he fully, truly knew, because all he gave him were notes. Again, the notes. So he was working on the notes. He didn't have everything fleshed out. He was hoping that they could do that for him.
yeah,
For that. But of course,
um,
he got backstabbed. Is probably the best thing.
yeah. But when it comes to character, please let your characters be dead when you kill them off. When you have
Yeah.
an impactful death. And it's like, yes, I know we are getting, Deadpool 3, and what I don't like is that, yes, it would have been fun, we've been waiting for Deadpool and Logan, meet up
Mhm.
and have, but the problem now, we had the Logan movie, we had an impactful death, we had an impactful story and all
Right.
that, and what annoys me is like, oh, now having Wolverine now is more of a fucking member berry for the movie than actual story, in my view. I'm like,
Mhm.
he was not gonna come back. He was not gonna come back as Wolverine, and
Mhm.
so the impact, the Logan movie is like, you destroy that impactful meaning of the last performance that he did.
Mhm.
So that annoys me a little bit, and I'm also wary about the movie because, again, we had Deadpool 2, time travel movie,
Mhm.
yada yada. Deadpool 3, time travel, different universes. And it's just like, dude, it is the same fucking story you did in the second movie. This is the same story we see in the MCU and DC right now. It's like,
Well, think about it too. You're mentioning the fact that Wolverine died in Logan, which he
Yep.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Black Widow? They released Black Widow after everybody knew that the character dies in
Yeah,
Infinity War.
wrong timing,
Yeah,
wrong
and
story.
and of course, Solo. Let's do a film about a character we just killed off in the earlier
Yep.
days, and with a different
Yep.
actor. Yeah, I mean, there are so many things already you had going wrong with that.
Yes,
Be honest.
exactly.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't think the film was that bad, but again, as I put into it, with a lot of things that's Disney canon, I consider that kind of the whole dramas of the EU. In other words, and it was even touched on in some of the EU where they're basically doing the dime novels off these heroes, and they weren't exactly
What I
necessarily
really
true
hated with the
stories.
Solo movie is that the way they treated his fucking name. It's like Han Solo. I'm like, dude, you just removed his whole family. His whole
Right.
family tree is gone.
He came from
Bracca
royalty,
Solo
and you
and-
just tossed
Yeah,
it out like it
his
meant
last
nothing
name
to you.
is Solo.
Which
It's his
is
whole-
essentially what they did. They tossed it out like it meant nothing to him,
Right.
just like they had Luke's look at the lightsaber when Rey handed
Yes,
it to him in Force
yes,
Awakens and
I
tossed it over his
hated
shoulder
that.
like it meant nothing. Because
Luke would never have
that's
done that.
Disney in a nutshell. Star Wars means nothing to them.
Right.
It really
Basically,
doesn't.
Basically, it would have been better if Luke would have gone, excuse me, there was a hand that was with this.
Yep. So it is what it is with films. The problem with films now is that too many time travel, different universes, and all that fucking crap. And it's like, I like time travel, I like different universes, but you are doing it the wrong way. You're overdoing it. It's becoming old. It's becoming, consistent. And when you have, let's use MCU for example. We have Loki. We have Endgame. We have Agents of Shield. We have so many different properties of the MCU or MCU, whatever you want to call it, and they explain the time travel, different universes. There is no consistent explanation on how it works. It's like they don't really know what they are fucking doing with all that, because
No.
no consistent telling. It's always a different telling of how it works. Like, look at Loki season 2, how the multiverse works now. A lot of the universes are getting destroyed. Loki can fucking time travel now with his new power thing, time skipping, and he learns how to use it. But how is this impacting the rest of the fucking movie franchise? How is
Right.
this impacting everything else? Like, this should fucking be a big thing. You should really fucking connect this then to what happened in Endgame. The things you're doing right now. Oh, you can actually bring back Iron Man because of this. You can bring back this and that and that. It's like, you don't have a good storytelling on how it works, and you're using it in every single property. I want a new story with no time travel now, no different universe. I just want a good movie with the main villain who is not misunderstood. I want something consistent.
Keep the
I would
time.
love-
Keep time travel to Doctor Who.
That's why I
Yeah.
enjoyed joining the Pandaverse, because even they poked fun at
Yes,
the multiverse aspect.
exactly. And one of if you're gonna go to like Marvel movies, Days of Future Past is one of the greatest movies with the time travel. They did it properly in that movie. But they didn't do every movie like a time travel thing. They didn't have to explain this in multiple fucking movies and have different rules. It was one event movie. And that's what it should be. Like in comics, it should be an event comic. When a lot of the heroes are meeting up, there is a big event. And after that event, they're going their separate ways again, going to their towns, going to be superheroes elsewhere again. And you can, when you have an event comic or a movie, you can use different universes, but it has to be like one time thing, not like every single fucking movie. Like that's what you have. Doctor Strange 2. Different universes again. Endgame. They're going to different periods in different times. You have Loki. It's
even in the Marvels, it looks like they're
Yes.
doing a different universe type of deal too. And I gotta ask everybody, who is excited for the Marvels? I'm asking everybody on YouTube, everybody on Rumble. 1, if you're excited. 2, if you could care less.
I'm just gonna say
we're gonna vote?
I'm actually gonna
Mhm.
say that I'm actually gonna watch it before premiere day. I have my, my sources, my peeps. So I don't need to pay for it. You know what I mean?
He's going to Viking.
But it is the perks of have been working at the cinema and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say, but I have no faith
Yeah.
in the movie. I have no, I didn't like Miss Marvel. Thought that was a terrible fucking show. And then you have the character, also from WandaVision, and yeah, and then you have Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, who's excited to see her back. Woo.
Yeah.
This movie's
All
gonna
foot, no
flop.
tit, no ass. Yeah. But all
Yeah,
feet.
I have no faith in
and
that
that bitch
movie,
look, the bitch look
and
that she
and
has. Resting
yes,
bitch face.
and look at the fucking commercial they fucking did with the whole stream with fucking cats. It's just like, bro, it's a whole fucking, what was it, like 8 hour, 7 hour stream or something with mostly just fucking cats and all that, and that's how you commercial a fucking movie.
Well, the thing is this has become such a tired trope with the time travel and such. Even the alternate universe. I mean, back in the day when we had Star Trek Mirror and stuff.
Baron, with time travel, there's just one thing you got to remember.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Yeah, there's a great time travel.
Yes.
But when it comes around to doing an alternate universe or and such, be original. Have that universe completely different.
Yes, I can with that, in Marvel, we have the Ultimate Universe. That was fucking different than the 616. Like, that was fucking different. The way Wolverine is, he works for Magneto. He's one of the first fucking mutants to ever be the first project. The whole story is different. And Logan actually, kissing a fucking younger underage girl is fucking crazy, but it is Jean Grey, it's always been but they made Ultimate Universe a really fucking different universe. It's that comic too is also based more of the real world, and this is also Mark Miller. You guys remember Mark Miller? And he is really edgy to a lot of points. And I have said I like the Ultimate Universe on a lot of aspects. There's a lot of aspects I like in the comics, but there are certain stuff I'm like, you are really fucking up here, bro. Like, this is fucking weird. But there was stuff that I liked in it. But the point, that was a completely different universe than a 616. All characters are different. You have a different storyline, and it made people interested. You have the haters and you have the lovers of the comic, but a lot of people loved Wolverine, especially in that, he's one of the most dangerous fucking mutants in that comic. But it was really weird when you see him like kissing Jean Grey, who's probably like 17, 18, if I don't remember wrong, in the comic, and he's like over 100 years old. But it is Wolverine. It is. You can never have a story with the fucking drama with Cyclops and Jean and Wolverine. It's always going to be some drama with them. In the back in the day, now you have the poly relationship basically with them, but you have to make it completely different than the counterpart. It has to be completely different in the multiverse, and that's what they did with the Ultimate Universe. Don't read Ultimatum. Ultimatum was fucking trash. Ultimatum, when they killed off characters just to fucking kill them off, it was fucking ridiculous. You have like Cyclops getting killed in the streets with Quicksilver shooting him in the head. It's just like just weird as fuck, dude. They just killed off character. They killed off Wolverine too. Magneto killing him. Magneto gets
killed. And it comes down to it. If you're going to kill a character off, make it meaningful.
Yes.
Have it impactful in some fashion. Just don't go and kill them off because I just want to kill these characters off. And make
that's what I did with Ultimatum. But it is what it is with those comics. But you have to do it carefully when you do multiverses and MCU and Marvel. They don't do that. They are not careful. They don't know how they want the set rule. If they want to take some practice on how to make good rules, watch Back to the Future, for example. How everything impacts the fucking movies.
Yeah.
Everything has an impact, and they should take some
Yeah.
lessons from
I
the good.
mean, Doc warning Marty if he doesn't get the almanac back in Back to the Future 2 from Biff,
Yep.
the consequences could be disastrous.
You have the butterfly
Especially,
effect.
especially if Marty runs into his other self that's in 1955, or Doc runs into his 1955 self.
Yep.
The damage
It's a
to the
butterfly
space-time
effect. The
continuum. Yeah.
butterfly effect. They forget about that in the MCU and this DC right now. The butterfly effect, man. It's important. Every choice, everything that you do will affect the future. Will
Right.
affect. But they forget about that, the butterfly effect.
Right.
I started playing, Life is Strange again. The first game is fucking fantastic. I love the first game. And yes, you can choose to be lesbian or straight. That's up to you. You decide yourself. It's not forced upon you. You decide yourself who you want to pick as your love interest. And that's what you should do in a lot of games.
I pick me.
But yeah, pick whatever your preference is in the game. But every single thing you do in the game, it has a butterfly effect. That's the thing. Everything you do, because this is, she can time travel, and everything you do is impacted. No plot holes, but it is impacted to what you do. And that is 101 rules you have to remember in time traveling.
Right.
And stuff like that, yeah.
Well, yeah, and people use it as a lazy tool now to fix they perceive their mistakes. And it's like, yeah, right, you made a lot of mistakes. Live with them now.
Exactly.
Out of it, be original about it all. And when I say like an alternate universe, in that universe they have different heroes. And
yeah, exactly too. That I think is really great.
From that one, and maybe and of course the countries they're in or the cities they're in are slightly different. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Between Batman and Judge Dredd, I mean, right there,
yeah,
you have the conflicts, the different worlds, how they work in the different worlds, and that's just it. If you're going to do it different. Have that other world, not just it's going to be a mirror with just some little changes here. No, have it completely different. Go nuts.
Go nuts. I agree. Suddenly we have a different universe. We can say there was never a Captain America, but we have another character who is similar to Captain America, but it's not Captain America. He doesn't have the name Captain America, but he has another name. He's his own character. Have a whole universe like that with completely different characters. Well, hey, Marvel, hey, DC. That's a perfect thing to make original characters. Have a different universe with different heroes. Yeah, maybe you can hear about, certain characters from the other timelines. Like maybe there is a Batman in that universe, but he's not there. He's not in that place. Maybe, he's in Gotham, another place,
Or maybe there was a
do.
Batman at one time, but he's no longer there because that character's dead.
Yes, there's so many things you can do, but this is a perfect opportunity to make original characters, original stories. And just don't do self-inserts, don't do stuff like that. Just make a good story that will entertain someone. And that's all I have to say about it.
I mean, obviously a writer draws inspiration from their life and experiences that they've had. But that's still, again, it's not self-insert.
It's not a self-insert. That's stuff you have seen, stuff that you've seen. You've listened to other people's stories, a lot of stuff like that you can use in the story, but it's not your life. You're not you're not using a self-insert of like, this is the agenda of me. I want the character to have blonde hair because I am blonde, and all that kind of stuff. I want the character to have a penis because I have a penis, that's not how it is, Well,
I mean, the best self-insert that you have in comic books is the character that we the readers, or if it's a movie, viewers, our eyes are going through. This is how we're seeing the universe, such as with Sherlock Holmes. Our eyes in that universe is Dr. Watson, and with his explanation. So he's our eyes in that universe. In some ways, Robin is our eyes into the Batman universe. Tagging along. Or with Doctor Who, it's the companions. They don't want to call them companions no more. But no, they're companions. There's nothing wrong with being companions, but yet there are eyes looking into that universe. And if we're lost, we get it's because the character is lost in there.
Yeah,
and it's meant to be that way. And that's the closest you have for that self-insert, because those characters are every people, or every man, every woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. And they don't understand that. That is the proper quote unquote self-insert if you're going to have.
Yep. No, exactly. I know. Yeah, we do have a lot of videos here that we've been talking about.
Some of them are clean too.
Yeah. No, so we have some funny here. One of my favorite topics that we did here is the whole, Star Wars drag from Star Wars Celebration in the UK. And it was a clusterfuck on when they talked about Asajj Ventress being a drag. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
No, she had a relationship.
Yep. Well, and it's interesting. When they were doing the Clone Wars, I can't remember who was the one that played Obi-Wan in there, but he was playing the character as the fact that between the battle between him and Asajj Ventress is kind of
fuck the Clone Wars, man. Fuck
well, no, but
the original is good, but
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Even with that she was kind of a
problem,
kind of a the little playoff between each other in the relationship between villains, or
But the other big problem too, is Quinlan Voss and her relationship was fucking retarded, man. I fucking hated it, and again. Asajj Ventress is she's not from Darth Mirian. She's not a Darth Mirian. She's not from that fucking world or anything. No. She's a Ratataki. She's a completely different fucking species. And in the original expanded universe, the way she didn't die there either. She left the war after Obi-Wan and Anakin found her and she has cybernetic body. She's more cybernetic. She leaves the war and pretends to be dead. Just, I want to get out of here. Yada yada. You never see the character again. Never. That's a good fucking ending. And I'm making a video about it, and people be excited for that. I'm actually making a video for original story.
But
not many people have done that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. When it comes around the you don't need. Keep true to the characters and how they are. I mean,
yes, but no, actually, we are over 3 hours, man. I didn't know we were gonna stream that long.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? Huh? We're just rocking.
We had too much fun.
You just talk.
We're having fun, and you know what?
Talking.
One thing I've learned since starting Pop Talk is see where the conversation's going. If it's going good, you don't stop it.
Yeah.
But
you make a perfect guest, because we want a guest that talks, so hey, there we go. I mean, it's like, I understand you like Star Wars. Yeah.
No, I hope you guys have learned some of the the background of 540 and stuff like that. And if there are other stuff you are interested in to know about it, just ask audience, or you guys just ask.
Well, let's go ahead and put it to the audience. Those of you who are on YouTube, those of you who are on Rumble, ask Jace a question. Ask away. What do you want to know about Jace? What do you want to know about 540 Studio?
Yeah. How have you gotten banned yet? That's my no. That's but
I've gotten banned on other places, but not YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
While we wait for those questions, I do have one question I want to ask.
Yeah,
but I'll let Baron go first.
Thank you. Of course, we've been talking pretty much mostly Star Wars with you. Other franchises out there. I mean, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, whether it's the original or the remake, Doctor Who. Blake Seven, anything like that? Is there anything out there that also drives a passion? Maybe not as much as Star Wars does, but that you really enjoy.
Oh God. Well, there is a lot of anime, of course. Death Note is one of my absolute favorites in the world. I love the concept of Death Note. I own the full book. Like I bought a fucking expensive book also of the manga with everything with specials and like a big book. And I also have tattooed Ryuk on my arm, a big tattoo of Ryuk on my arm. I based it on the manga version. Um, but I love that anime. Even though I have my gripes with certain stuff, how they did the version of the anime. There's certain stuff I think they could have cut out, make it more interesting. And why the fuck is L and Light having this weird gay romance in a way in certain scenes? Like, why is one of the characters rubbing the feet to the other character, like L and Light? Why? That's not in the manga, but they just did it to do it for fan service of the people who are shipping them. Like, don't do that because people are shipping them. But no, it's like that. It's Tokyo Ghoul. I watch a lot of romance anime because I'm really into romance. The fun thing, people think I'm all dark, all that because I like black metal, but I love a lot of romances. A good romance. One of my favorite romantic anime films is Your Name. It's a really good movie. The concept is really good. They also have different timelines. That's the thing. They did the timeline stuff properly. When the guy and a girl are switching bodies, he actually goes back in time. He goes back in time in her body before she dies, and he can help her to save the little country they have there, save the little island they have. So they do the butterfly effect really perfectly. They do everything perfect in that movie, and it makes me cry. That movie makes me cry. Listen to that, guys. Oh my god, a guy who listens to black metal, who's really, I cried in that movie. I cry every time in that. It's just a fantastic movie. And we have Tokyo Ghoul, pretty good. ReZero can go on and go on with anime. But when it comes to like live action shows that are like not Marvel, not Star Wars,
Right.
it is, Power Ranger is one of them, of course. That is one of the IPs that I do fucking enjoy. And I did watch the remake of Battlestar Galactica, the remake back in the day, because my father was so in love with this franchise. He loves the old one, he loves the new remake that they did. And I liked it, dude. Like my dad said when I was really young, you don't take your head away when you're watching this show because there's a lot of plot twists, a lot of things you really have to follow. And it is true, you really have to follow the story because if you don't, there might be stuff you will not understand if you don't follow the story. And I was really, one of my favorite shows also back in the time was, of course, Firefly with Nathan
that was a very good
Fillion.
show.
Oh, it was so good. I never understood the backlash on it. I never fucking understood it. It was such a fantastic show. Like, for me, I always said this is Star Wars level with stuff they're doing here. Like, this is Star Wars level with effects and everything else. And they canceled the show, and
I looked at it as a Traveler, the role playing game on screen. Because it was that grittier aspect, and for in the United States, Fox did a great job destroying it by not showing the first episode, the first movie right away. And so you're going into this, it's like, what the hell is this about? And that turned a lot of people away. Because Fox was the one that was doing all the screwing up. It's like, well, it's not working. It's like, yeah, that's because you screwed everything up. This is a linear story.
Yes,
we need to know what's going on.
Yeah, and I am happy that they at least got one movie, to finish the fucking series. But it's just like, even watching that, I feel like, dude, there's still some story here that we are missing. There is still something we're missing with all of this. The build up to this movie, we need something more with this. It was a sad situation. And there is so many shows that just gets canceled that that I like. There was a show that I was real obsessed with back in the day. It's called, what the fuck is it called again? The guy who plays Starkiller is in the American version of it.
The Office.
No, there's a the vampire, being human,
Oh,
the American version of it.
Okay.
I loved the British version too. It's really fun, but it was just something with the American versions that I liked. And we have the guy who plays Star Killer and Maul in the Clone Wars and other stuff. It's just like that show is so amazing. It was one of my top tier favorite shows, and unfortunately, at the end, it got canceled
right.
because it didn't sell really well. But I loved it. I was really into that show. I really hope that I wish it had like at least one more season. I will finish properly off. But it unfortunately didn't. So there are a couple of shows out there that I really like in IPs. Yes, Star Wars is one of the biggest one, but um, the fun thing, a lot of people think Star Wars is my favorite thing in the world. No, I have to set this record straight. It's my second favorite thing in the world
What's your
because
favorite?
that is The Crow. The Crow with Brandon Lee is the most amazing movie ever created. It's my favorite movie ever created. So that is on the first place of everything. Star Wars is on the second because The Crow it has such a special place in my heart. So I love The Crow a lot more. Star Wars is on the second place, but The Crow, the comic, I really love the comic. But the fun thing, the movie was 10 times better than the comic, and I'm not afraid to say that. Even James O'Barr thought the movie was fucking better, basically, than the comic, because Brandon Lee did such a fucking amazing job with this that he basically said there will be no other Crow who will pass him. There's no one who's gonna be him. He is Eric. He will always be Eric, and nobody can top his fucking character and the way he did it in the movie. And we are getting a remake now with Bill Skarsgård, and I'm like, no, just no.
Leave it alone.
Don't remake
Leave it
it.
alone.
Leave that alone. If you want to do a Crow movie, we have many fucking comics.
Yep.
Base it on a fucking newer comic or do an original story. We have don't do Eric's story. We have seen Eric's story. With even James O'Barr, is in that position. Like, Brandon is the only Eric. And I agree with that. It's the same thing that me and Memnock, I have not announced this yet, but me and Memnock, we are working together on a fan film of The Crow. Because both me and him are a big fan of The Crow. That is our favorite movie. And we want to also respect Brandon Lee's legacy with The Crow. So one thing we are not going to do is that we are not going to use Eric. We're not going to remake history with a fan film. We're doing a completely original story, a completely original character. And this time you will have a fucking bald Crow with a beard. Because the main character is Memnock himself. He's gonna play this character, an older version of a Crow. He's an older guy. He's bald. He has a beard, and we're gonna try to do a different story and respect the lore, respect the IP, and do something original with it, and still use the base rules of what they have done before. And we will use the base rules from the first movie. So we're gonna respect that and stuff like that. But yeah, The Crow is a fantastic movie. I watch it every Halloween. Every Halloween, I watch that movie. Sometimes I watch it other than Halloween too, but it's a perfect Halloween movie. If you know what I mean.
Yep,
I think I do.
Yeah. So, but thanks for the question, Baron.
Not a problem. And the last question of the afternoon or evening or early morning, depending on where you're at, is
tomorrow or yesterday.
Yeah, that too. Where do you see 540 Studios 6 months to a year from now?
What I see is that I never look into the future. I live with again, life's too short, make the most of it. And also another rule is I will take day by day. I will let the world show me what happens in the months and years that will come. I'm still gonna, we in 540, we're still gonna create content. We're still gonna fight the good fight and do what we're doing, and we're not gonna stop it anytime soon. Um, if we want to if we want to grow the way we want, we have to fight for it. We have to entertain. We will never give up, no matter how hard stuff will be. But I never look into the future. I look day by day. The time the world will show us what happens in the next months, in the future. Um, but at least the months it's gonna be new shows. Hopefully I will get some of the other shows on YouTube. Maybe I will finally, because I want to release some of the videos I am creating at least before next year. But if not, it's gonna be in next year. Like I said, I'm also working on a music video, and it's taking a lot of my time. Because I am working on Star Wars lore videos of my favorite characters from the expanded universe. I'm not adding any of the Clone Wars, any of Disney stuff. I'm not adding any of that stuff. This is all before. And my first video will be as Hush Ventress. I'm writing a script. I started filming and all that, but I had to prioritize the music video. So at least hopefully that music video will be out before next year. If not, that's also going to be out next year. It's a visual music video with some clips from concerts and other stuff. So it's going to be really fun. It's a, it's a 12-minute song, if I don't remember wrong. 12-minute song, because it's doom metal, black metal. The songs can last for fucking 12 minutes to 13 minutes to 17 minutes. It's crazy, but it's so much story to tell in the songs. And hopefully, I'm still talking with Chuck Dix and Mike Barron. I'm also talking with the management of Eric July and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to get Eric July on, so we will see what happens. They are gonna try to find a time and date when it works for him. So hopefully, if it's not this year, it's gonna be the start of next year, and we're gonna try to make it happen. Because Mike Barron also pushed this. Mike Barron wanted Chuck Dixon, Eric July, and Chuck on. Mike Barron was like, "Yes, we need to make that happen." Like, dude, did crazy shit, but yeah, it would be fun. You said, a fucking cool panel of talking about good comics. Just have a fucking great time talking about comics. But no, that's some of the plans. And of course, you can find me sometimes here on your channel, sometimes a Pop Culture Minefield, sometimes T-shirt Historian. I am there sometimes, but they do talk too much about tabletop games. I don't know so much about tabletop games, so
I knew there was something wrong with you.
Yes.
Well, then there's something wrong with me too, Baron.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that. I knew that from day one.
About tabletop games. Oh,
I knew that from day one.
Quiet you. You're lucky I'm not booting you right now.
Well, in that case,
here, I'll play the video for you, Baron, so you don't have to play it. Let me just. Yeah. Why don't you stay out there?
Help! I'm being repressed!
It's a great video. But no,
You're crazy. I know you are, but what am I? You're a nerd. I know you are, but what am I? You're an idiot. I know you are, but what am I? I know.
It's so great videos. But no, again, I'm really grateful for the people out there who are watching us. I'm really grateful to get to know, Mike, Baron, Cash, Phil, everyone I met in different communities. I'm grateful to meet a lot of you guys, and we are working together. We're trying to do stuff together to make a difference in the world, and that is important to make a difference, fight a good battle. Do not become like other people that become sellouts and all that kind of stuff. Do not become like that to other people who wants to be content creators. Don't be like them. Be yourself. Be strong, independent, and fight for what you want. That's a couple of some of the advice that I have. And
that's excellent advice.
Yes, and just remember, if you're gonna be, on Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, no matter what platform you're using, have some fucking balls of steel or tits of steel if you're a woman. Have, have some fucking steel. You will be criticized. You will get the haters. You will meet people you can still be friends with, and people who will criticize your stuff. You will always be stuff like that. You need to have tits or balls of steel and just learn to handle it. Don't be like other content creators that goes out of their mind and becomes fucking douchebags. Talks about it on YouTube. Talks about it on this. Oh, this person hurt me. Didn't like. Don't become like that. Be a man. Be a woman, and take it as it is. And that's how you need to do it.
In other words, I do believe this is what you're saying, and it's what we all should do as content creators. When we're creating content, we need to have this kind of attitude.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I think even more important one, too, that needs to be learned is this one.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all have our opinion. It's like, okay.
Yep. Have some tits and balls of steel. Then you can be a content creator. If you don't have any of that, don't do YouTube or content creation yet. You have to learn to have patience and learn to take criticism. Learn that there are people that are gonna disagree. There are gonna be drama. It's gonna be stuff like here and there, but be a grown up about it. Be the better person than the others when it comes to this. That is my advice. That.
Yeah.
And Chase, what do you have coming up on 540 Studio?
Well, of course, we do have the Beyond show this week. We also have 5cast this week, where I am gonna go through topics and stuff like that because I'm trying to make a whole list of certain stuff we're gonna talk about. So I will, of course, create that tomorrow. But that's what I have coming up on the channel as for now. And that is basically it. That's basically it. Those shows. That is the main focus. That is the main shows. So maybe I will do something else. Maybe I have some plans of what I want to do, but we will see what happens. I take day by day. And I want to give a big shout out before we also wrap it up, to my co-hosts. I'm grateful for all of them, how amazing work they've done, how much they have to bring to the table, and they are just an amazing folk of people, just fucking amazing. People have seen that there's been a lot of changes. Kilted, Fenrir, two of the news member, even Hashi, who's friends with Kilted, or some of our 3 news members, and they're bringing so much to the table. So I just want to say thank you to them for joining 540, and I'm excited to see the channel grow, and I'm excited to everyone else in the company to see them grow. And I internet is fake. Yes, exactly. I like that. I like Wookie on his.
I like it
his
too.
units there. Yeah. And I want to give a big shout out to Wookie, one of the best creators out there, and a really good friend. So big shout out to you, Wookie. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love your streams, love your videos. But that's what I have coming up. And as I always say, before we wrap up streams and stuff like that, is that life's too short. Make the most of it. And we on this panel, we love you. We appreciate you. None of us would have been here today if it wasn't for you guys out there. You inspire us every single day to keep on making content, doing this for you, and keep you guys entertained and have an alternative entertainment than the normal news, the normal, Hollywood shit and other stuff. We are grateful that you want to spend time with us. It means a lot. And just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you to Mike. Thank you to Baron, Cash. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank you for, the friendship that we have gained through the months. I appreciate it. I'm excited to see this channel grow, Wookie's channel grow, and everyone in our community to grow. Keep doing
Thank
what
you.
you guys are doing. Thank
Well, I
you.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you taking the time to join us, taking time out of your day to join us and spend time with us. Not
Yeah.
just today, but anytime you've hopped on an open panel or I've sent you the invite,
Yeah,
you've
thank you.
hopped on, and I appreciate the invites that you've given me.
Yeah, no. We all like High School Musical. We're all in this together. You know.
Okay. Sorry, had to do it.
Oh, come on. I'm not just gonna play the more you know.
Oh, okay. What? There we go.
See, I was being the nice guy here.
You're a nice guy. I'm not nice.
Yeah.
Look, that was nice. Oh,
And you know what? You know what, Baron? That's the first time a special guest has been kicked out, but not by me.
I kicked them out earlier too.
Yeah, this is the first episode of special guests.
Just because I know what High School Musical is doesn't mean I like it. I just know what the fuck it is. It used to be on fucking TV.
But just because I know what Grease is doesn't mean I like it.
Well,
I'm talking about the musical. I'm not talking about.
I had to fucking joke about we all in this together, because that's the end song of the fucking first movie. Hate that I remember it.
But I had to kick him because he wouldn't have felt like one of us if I did it.
One of us.
He's already one of us. One of us. One of us.
I wanted to make him feel really welcome, and that's how I did it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate accepting the invitation because I know everybody has their own schedule, and sometimes coordinating days and times, it's not easy. You have to have a lot of back and forth communication.
Yeah, I know, man. I know that. I live in Norway. Know all about it.
So do you think he passed the test, the entrance test here to replace Cash?
Yeah, he has. Yeah. Cash, you're not needed anymore. Bye.
You're fired.
No, you know what's gonna happen there. Cash is gonna watch this. He's gonna go. Yeah. I love it that people talk about me when I'm not here, and I'm just gonna say to Cash. Yeah. Anytime one of us isn't here on Pop Talk, including myself, we're gonna talk crap about each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All the time. All the time.
So, Baron, speaking of maybe not talking crap, but what do you have coming up on Baron Orman Tagge's Fandom Legacy that's worth talking about?
Nothing right now. But yeah, I've been saying I need to get my butt in gear because I got to keep my lead on Cash Money and the Phantom Hooligans. So I can't have him have more subscribers than me. So I'm going to get to work and put some. But no, I'm going to get some work. In all seriousness, get to work there, and of course, help out Cash and anybody else that needs to be. So, I have no plans. Sometimes I get those little messages saying, "Hey, can you come here? Because you're a YouTube whore. You can go. We need you." Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
That's me in a nutshell.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You're thinking it though.
He's a whore. He's a no good whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when Pat S says, "Hey, I need you to come on this show." Mike, I gotta be at this show at such and such a time. What?
Yep.
What? Fine, go.
Well, what happened to Chase?
It looks like he lost connection because he's not even backstage.
I know. It's like, whoa, I didn't do that. I was behaving.
I didn't do that. I didn't touch him.
There he is. There he is. There he is.
Goddamn StreamYard. Hey, StreamYard. I just want to tell you this.
Crap.
I am paying for you, and do not attack these guys. You're gonna attack me. Come after me. Fix your fucking shit, you fucking retards. Fix it. A lot of us are fucking paying for it, and you give us crap shit that crashes all the fucking time. Fix your
You know what really grinds my gears?
Fix it. Paying too much. Me and Prismatics, we're paying too much for using this fucking program. Fix it. Thank you so much. Don't attack this, guys. If you want to come to someone, come to me. Come to a fucking Norwegian. I will fucking show you what I eat for breakfast. Bitch. Thank you.
There.
There we go.
All right. You heard it? I was going to look for a clip, but I'm thinking, you know what? I don't need to play a clip. Jay's pretty much covered it. But
yeah, he basically did.
You know what? I'm just going to play this one just for a laugh.
Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no! Charles?
Did I miss it?
I played it.
I think he has problem. I think he has problems too now with fucking StreamYard, man.
Hey, StreamYard, fix your crap.
Fix it.
Your crap. You know what? At the rate your program's going,
I'd buy that for $1.
That's all it's worth is $1. Or was it because
You might think everything is okay, but Disney is gonna get you. Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get you. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.
Exactly.
This is YouTube in a nutshell. There we go.
Exactly. But thanks again for having me on.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Who did it?
TKO was asking. No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. Don't piss off a Norwegian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those Norwegians can be a little frisky there, don't you know?
When you're a true Norwegian who loves black metal and grew up in the fucking real Viking black metal world, don't piss us off.
Oh, come on. You're not really a real Norwegian. You're a German. Admit it. Admit it.
I wanted to do a joke, but I'm not going to do it.
I was going to say we were on Rumble only. I tell you, go ahead and tell the joke, but since we're on both platforms,
yes. If you were on just Rumble, I would have done it. But...
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Phil, I won't be joining you guys tonight because I do have places I need to be in the morning.
Oh,
but as far as
okay.
As far as PACIFIC414 is concerned, what's coming up? Hopefully, as long as Cash is still up for it, I will double check with him that day. We will be playing part 5 of River City Girls 2, and we will try to get even further in the game, perhaps even complete it. And then Wednesday on the channel, and these are both at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it'll be PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, where our special guest will be Apion. Looking forward to having him back on the channel. Haven't talked to him in a while. And then Thursday, Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. Your move, creep. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to play more of RoboCop Rogue City. And then next week, I'm going to play some more Cuphead. So I'm going to change it up each week as far as which games I'm playing on certain days. They won't always stream on the same day that they streamed on the previous week. And heck, I may even go back to Ace Combat 7 just because I'm having fun playing that too. So with that being said, unless you guys have anything else you'd like to promote or say, I will go ahead and thank everybody.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on, and I'm really grateful for you guys. So,
Narf, I gotta say Narf. There we
go. Yes, Pinky. We're gonna try to take over the world. And of course, I do want to thank Pit Viper, aka TKO, aka Chaos, aka Digital Department of Defense. Thank you for being here. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely Chow, Roll Tide. And Baron, thank you for the 3-month member chat. Appreciate it. We also had Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. Low Spec Linux Laptop. This is all, I'm sorry,
Don't
all
choke too
on
much.
the YouTube side. It's
Hey,
flawless.
that's Prismatic's job to choke, not yours.
Yeah.
Speaking of Prismatic,
whoa, dump. Phrasing.
Thank you, Prismatics. Wookie Be Bad.
Wookie
Thank you
Be
very
Bad,
much
my
for being
bro.
here. And it was a logical decision for you to come this afternoon, Spock. It was an agreeable decision, as the Vulcans would say. Smart and
Oh, yeah.
Muses. Hunty, thank you for being here. Jet Sparks, thank you for being here. Dempsey, thank you for being here. The Padawannabe, thank you for being here. Phil McCracken, appreciate it, brother. Sorry I can't join you guys tonight, but I know you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Make sure you're not near any fire spores when Paul's shooting off his arrows. You know what he likes to do. He likes to burn everybody.
And I really like that he had to, I know I'm white, I know I'm white, Phil. Thank you so much for reminding me. It means a lot.
And of course, Leia Rose, the princess of YouTube, and the president, and sole member of the Phil McCracken fan club. Pop Culture Mechanic, thanks for stopping by, Pop. And of course, Big Daddy T-Gap. That's right, Big Daddy T-Gap with the latest episode of Beverly Hills 414. That's right. Are we going to get out of our predicament? Is Baron going to stop staring at the boobies of Miss Bonbon? Who knows?
No. I like boobies. boobies.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh.
And if people out there, if you haven't subscribed and all that to Wookie Be Bad, please fucking do it. You're gonna enjoy his fucking content.
Do it. Do it now. Come on. Find his channel. Subscribe. Come on, do it.
That's actually pretty good.
And we all know Baron is a Wookiee from Kashyyyk. That's right. You know what?
I agree with you.
If I had to have a Wookiee, it'll be Baron and I'll be Han Solo. I'm Pacific 4 Pacific 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Kate Skywalker either way,
And Jace, he can be Lando.
Cool.
Oh, okay. I love my KFC. No.
Oh, wow.
Fuck?
Wow.
I
At least
didn't
you
say
could have said
anything.
Colt 45. That's what he was talking.
Wow.
I love chicken.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Exactly.
I mean, my good fried chicken, too. I worked for Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was my first job.
Nice. No, I actually want some chicken.
No,
fried chicken is good.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Thanks. I'm gonna go out in my car, drive to KFC, and get some.
2 hours away. Say hi, little girl.
Hello, little girl. At least it's not El Diablo Cato.
No. But she can be a little stinker, too, can't you? Yes, you can. Are you enjoying your screen time? Are you enjoying your screen time? Remember we used to do this before? Yeah, you little nuisance, you.
Oh, such a cutie.
But thank you all for watching. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to Jacen 540 Studio, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Also, his links are in the description below on both sides, and I also made sure to put them in the chat. So please give Jacen a follow
Thank you.
on Rumble and Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. As Orville Nation says, we grow together. We stand together. YouTube's not going to help us. We got to help each other. So the best way we can do that is by subscribing to one another's channels.
Thank you.
And with that being said, as I like to say, I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy. Take care, everyone.
Assad.
We are out.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Pop Talk is where it's at, baby. Pop Talk is where it's at, baby.
You're damn right.
Yeah. Wow.
You're damn right. Pop Talk is where everybody comes.
Master
Everybody
Paul
is
can
welcome.
fluff my pillows Navy style any day.
Hey, you know, we didn't play this one.
I call bullshit.
No, and real quick, folks. Next time we read a Big Daddy T-Gap script, we forgot to play this. I know I did.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna call you out after though. On a very special episode.
This is goodbye. Until the next stream.
Farewell, people. Far away. Goodbye.
Will Chase
Bye.
get that video done? Find out on the next very special episode of.
Will you
Pacific
follow
414.
or subscribe? Do it. Do it for Jace.
Do it.
Do it for the children of the world.
The children.
Do it for yourself.
Do it for the trolls like Phil McCracken.
Yes, do it for Phil. Especially for Phil.
Yes. He needs all the help he can get. Him and his whole troll army.
TKO says, I'm Lando. Yes. Well, guess what? In Great Soap Opera Action, there are two Landos. But who's the real one? Folks,
Ooh, there we go.
we'll leave you on that twist.
Han, shoot him. He's the imposter. No, Han, he's the imposter. Shoot him. Guta Solo.
Goodbye, everyone.